end of the stadium. That's to our right, to the closed end to our left. So we'll bring you first the Washington Redskins offensive lineup. The wide receivers for the Redskins, and they have perhaps as good a receiving corps as there is in pro football. Number 42, Charlie Taylor from Arizona State, his 8th year. He's 6'3", he weighs 210 pounds. And number 80, Roy Jefferson, in his 7th year. Roy from Utah, 6'2", 195. He's number 80. The tight end, number 87, Jerry Smith, also one of the best, in his 7th year from Arizona State, 6'3", 208, one of the lighter tight ends in pro football. The interior line at left defensive tackle, Jim Snowden, 6'3", 255 pounds. At left guard, number 62, Ray Schenke, he's 6'4", 250. The center, Len House, number 56. The right guard, number 60, John Wilbur. The right tackle, number 76, Walter Rock. The starting quarterback, number 17, Bill Kilmer. And the running back, two really fine running backs. The National Football League leader last year, Larry Brown, number 43. And his running mate, 6'2", 215 pounds, Charlie Haraway. He wears number 31. We'll be back with the Giants lineup in a moment after this message.
Never trouble until trouble troubles you. May be a great guideline for human relations, but it's bad advice when it comes to cancer protection. That's why the American Cancer Society says it's unwise to take your good health for granted. Check when your American Cancer Society volunteer comes to call.
All right, now, let's set the Giants for you defensively. At left end, number 71, 6'6", 250 pounds from Western Michigan, Bob Lurtzma. At left tackle, number 75, 6'3", 245 pounds from Purdue, Jerry Shea. Starting at right tackle, 6'4", 268 pounds from Wichita, number 76, Roland Lake. And at right end defensively, number 89, Fred Dreyer, 6'6", 235 pounds from San Diego State. The linebackers for the Giants on the left side, the strong side, 6'1", 230 from Colorado, number 55, Ralph Heck. The middle linebacker, number 58, 6'4", 240 from Oklahoma, Jim Files. And on the right side, the weak side, number 51, 6'2", 225-pound John Douglas from Missouri. The defensive back starting at the left corner, Bernie McRae, number 26, 6'1", 185 from Michigan. At right corner, number 41, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds from Grambling, Willie Williams. The tight safety, number 20, 6'3", 205 pounds from Oregon State, Scott Eaton. And the free safety, 6'2", 175 pounds from North Texas State, number 43, the All-Pro Carl Spider Lockhart. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
High school band from Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania, under the direction of Mr. Paul Sabine.
With the conclusion of our national anthem, both teams take the field. As we told you, the Washington Redskins won the toss. They'll be receiving. They'll be going from the open end of the stadium to the closed end. The Giants kicking off with, of course, Pete Gogolak providing the punt. And with the offensive play-by-play, here's Marty Glickman.
Chip, just before they get started, I must point out that a fellow with the biggest tuba I've ever seen in the Mount Carmel High School band is the smallest tuba player I've ever seen. The tuba is almost as large as this little fella, who's half the size of everybody else in this Mount Carmel High School marching band.
Marty, I saw that. I thought it was a self-playing tuba. I didn't see him at all.
Here's Pete Gogolak ready to kick off now. Speedy Duncan waiting between the goalposts. High in the air, Duncan waiting for it at the 1-yard line, and he starts upfield. Up the middle he comes to the 15, angles to the right to the 20, the 25-yard line, and down he goes hard. Hit hard at about the 25-26.
Well, a couple of New York Giants had their arms around him, but it was number 80, Henry Reed, who really laid a shoulder to Speedy Duncan and belted him down.
Tail of the football resting at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 25. Just the sort of things here at Yankee Stadium before another capacity crowd. The lights, incidentally, have just been turned on. Bill Kilmer, the quarterback. I formation on the backfield. Flanker right, split left in. Signals being called by Kilmer. Takes it. And he hands up to Brown. Brown up his own left guard, goes for 2-3 yards, and down he goes. And Larry Brown throws a punch. Larry Brown actually hauled off and punched one of the New York Giants. He reared back and threw it all the way.
Bob Lurchma is the man he punched, and Lurchma is furious. Actually, it was Roland Lakes who had a hold of Brown after he'd taken 2 steps past the line of scrimmage. The Giants were in a 6-man line. There's a flag down, Marty. Giants were in a 6-man line. There are 2 flags down, Marty. And I'll say it again. The Giants were in a 6-man line. They had both linebackers up at the line of scrimmage.
A personal foul is being called against the Washington Redskins. So early in the ball game, rather remarkable that that sort of a foul should take place. But Larry Brown just reared back. You could see him come back as though he were going to throw a football, but he threw a fist instead.
What happened, Marty, of course, is that the Giants had him. He refused to go down. The whistle had blown. The Giants would not let him go, and then finally Brown threw the punch.
Ball is placed back at the 12-yard line. It's half the distance to the goal line. 1st and 10 on the 12. The tail of the football now resting at the 12-yard line at the hash mark to the right. Roy Jefferson flanks wide out to the left side. Charlie Taylor splits wide right. The running backs are Brown and Haraway. 1st down again. 1st and 25. 1st and 22 and a half, rather. The handoff goes to Haraway. Drives off right tackle. He's stuck with the line of scrimmage. No gain at all. As Haraway tried to go off right tackle, he was hit high and hard and down.
Well, I think they may have made a mistake. It was Ralph Heck, but it was Lurchma who made the stop. Heck came off the top of the pile, and Bob Lurchma, we said it over the years, is a pretty good football player. When you light a fire under him, he can be a great football player. Let's see what happens today.
Well, it's 2nd and 20 at the 14-yard line. The last play picked up 2 yards. Bill Kilmer, the quarterback, 6 feet tall, a husky 200-pounder, 204 pounds precisely. Played his collegiate ball at UCLA. He wears number 17. Flank of left, split right end. Signals being called. Haraway and Brown, the running backs. Kilmer takes it, ducks back to pass, setting up, throws over the middle, and it is caught by Jerry Smith. The penalty marker is thrown down. It was caught at the 27-yard line. Spider Lockhart spills Jerry Smith. Spider may be hurt. He's very slow getting to his feet. Backfield illegally in motion called against the Washington Redskins, and Spider is on his knee, and Pete Asses has run out on the field. Talking to Spider, who's still on his knee. He may have hurt his shoulder or arm as he spilled Jerry Smith. The play is disallowed because of backfield being in motion.
Spider went for the interception, came right over the top of Jerry Smith. It was just a fraction of a second. That's all it took for Spider to just miss that interception. He went over the top of Smith and came down hard on his arm. Looked for a minute as though he'd hurt one of his wrists, but he's not favoring anything. He's just walking off the field. Perhaps he just had the wind knocked out of him. Half is in.
It's 2nd and 25 now on the 9-yard line of the Washington Redskins. There's no score in the ball game. An exciting beginning here at Yankee Stadium. A pitch out wide to the left side. Larry Brown trying to circle the left end. He cuts back upfield, and he's filled at the 12-yard line. Again, a fine driving tackle as he spilled at the 11-yard line.
Willie Williams putting his shoulder to him and knocking him down, and Willie's slow getting up, too, right now. Maybe it's just an equipment adjustment. Let's see.
Spider Lockhart has come back out on the field, and Pete Athos goes running off now. So apparently it was, as you said, Chip, that his wind was knocked out.
Marty, I wanted to recap that briefly. Willie made the tackle, but a good play by John Douglas and by Fred Dreyer. They just wiped out the interference.
Tommy Mason has come into the backfield now for the Redskins, replacing Larry Brown. It's 3rd and 23 at the Skins' 11-yard line. First series of downs. Jefferson flanked very wide out to the right side. Charlie Taylor is split left. It's a double wing formation, only one deep back Haraway. A draw play to Haraway. He comes off his own left guard, drives the field for 7-8 yards, and he's down at the 20-yard line, picking up 9 on the play. Far short of the first down, and the Skins are forced to punt.
Jim Files and Bob Lurchma from the other side of the field making the stop. And taking out the interference, John Douglas, a block was attempted by Tommy Mason, but Douglas took care of Mason, and so Files and Lurchma were able to make the stop.
It's 4th and 14 for the Washington Redskins. The ball is on their 20-yard line. Twin safeties back there for the New York Giants. Bobby Duhan and Spider Lockhart. They're between their 35 and 40-yard lines. Mike Bragg does the punting for the Washington Redskins. Time is being called on the field for just a moment.
Good defensive series for the New York Giants. Very good defensive series. It looks like a delay of game.
Penalty is being marked off by referee Ben Drees. Don't see any signal on this yet. The signal coming up now. Delay of game it is. Called against the Washington Redskins. Mike Bragg ducks back. Now they huddle up once more, and Bragg once again goes back right near his goal line. The ball is at the 15-yard line. 4th and 19 at the 15. Bragg standing just at the goal line. The Giant safety men at their 45. Bragg gets the top and center, moves forward and punts that ball. A high, wobbly kick coming down, a fair catch called by Bobby Duhan at midfield. So the Giants have marvelous field position right at the midfield line. 1st and 10 coming up.
Well, as we said before the game, it was a question of can the Giants stop the Green Sea. I was a week behind myself. Washington Redskins running attack. They did on the first series of downs, but there's a lot of football left to be played.
1st and 10 at the midfield line, and Chick Coatside is starting at tight end in place of Bob Tucker. Giants go to the line of scrimmage. It's a tight wing T formation. Houston is on the wing. Fran Tarkenton is quarterback. They're running back to Fredrickson and Duhan. Tarkenton takes it. He gives up to Duhan. It drives up his own right guard. Goes for only 1 yard, and he stops. No, wait a second. I lost the ball carrier. He picked up 5 yards on the play. I was watching Doug Van Horn, who had pulled and was trapping a tackle, and 5 yards are picked up by Bobby Duhan.
Fine tackle made by Manny Sistrunk, except he had the wrong man. He had the man you had carrying the ball, and so did I. But it was Amberger and Pettibone making the stop.
Ball placed down at the 46-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Makes it 2nd and 6 for the Giants on the Redskins' 46-yard line. Clifton McNeil flanks wide out to the left side. Split wide right is Rich Houston. Signals being called by Fran Tarkenton. Takes a snap. He gives up to Duhan again. Duhan bucks up his own left guard and drives for about 3 yards down to about the 43-yard line.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage by number 79, Ron McDowell, but Pardee had to make the stop as Bobby pulled ahead of McDowell.
So it's 3rd and 3 for the Giants on the 43-yard line of the Skins. Here's Joe Morrison running into the lineup, replacing Bobby. Well, Bobby Duhan started to go off, and Joe Morrison comes in as a tight end.
Morrison comes in, Marty. Nobody knows for sure who has to go out until he gets there and taps the man.
I guess Greg Lawson feels fairly secure.
That's about it.
A tight wing T formation. On the wing is Rich Houston. Split backfield. 3rd and 3 at the 43. Tarkenton calling signals. Key play goes back to pass. Dropping straight back. Sets up. Starts to scramble to his right. Runs out to the right again. Looking for a receiver. Now he starts to run with the ball. Stops. Throws deep down to the side. Way down to Fredrickson. He dropped the ball. Fredrickson muffed the ball completely at the goal line. And a penalty marker is down. Tucker Fredrickson had a short touchdown at the 2-yard line, and he just muffed it.
Right through his arms, and this penalty is against the Washington Redskins. I think they may have taken a shot at Fran because he was clapping his hands when he got up, knowing when he saw the flag go down. I was watching downfield action the way you were, Marty, but Fran got up clapping his hands, waving downfield, meaning we got the penalty. We got the penalty for us, not against us, and it's a 15-yarder.
It brings the ball down to the 28-yard line of the Washington Redskins. A personal foul, roughing the passer.
But Fredrickson, as Marty said, a short touchdown. I don't think he ever touched the ball. It went right through his arm.
I think it sort of glanced off his biceps, forearms. It was just almost a childlike muff of the ball. Up to the line of scrimmage now come the Giants. 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. Duhan and Fredrickson on the running back. Tarkenton back to pass on 1st down. Throws over the middle. And is caught that time at the 25-yard line by Tucker Fredrickson. No, it's not. I'm sorry. That was Bobby Duhan who made the catch at the 24-yard line, a 4-yard gain.
Myron Patios, the middle linebacker, making the stop.
Well, it's 2nd and 6 at the 24. The Washington Redskins, no score in the football game. 9 minutes and 58 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. The New York Giants are deep in Washington Redskins territory. Rich Houston flanks wide out to the left side. McNeil splits wide right. Running back to Bobby Duhan and Tucker Fredrickson. 2nd and 6 on the Skins 24. Tarkenton back to pass. Throwing into the end zone. Down to McNeil. Touchdown! No, he dropped it! He dropped it again! Clifton McNeil had the ball. A stride and a half ahead of the defender. 6 yards in the end zone. A perfect pass. A perfect pass. and his back was to me, and he caught the ball and then dropped it. He had unbelievable.
Well, he's 2 for 2. Dropped one last week, sure touchdown, and he dropped one this week for a sure touchdown. It didn't hurt last week. We won the ball game. Let's see what happens this week. Pat Fisher was completely beaten on the play.
Practically all alone on a perfect pass by Tarkinen, and McNeil dropped it. And a couple of moments ago, Fredrickson muffed it. Wow. 2nd and 6. 3rd and 6 at the 24-yard line. Giants to the line of scrimmage. Slot formation of the left. Tarkinen goes back to pass, runs out to the right, scrambling, looking downfield, gets a good block and past the line of scrimmage, down to the 20-yard line, and runs out of bounds at the 15-yard line as he picks up 9 yards and a first down.
Manny Sistrunk and Jack Pardee ran him out of bounds. Good block by Greg Larson. Came around and sprung him loose. Well, Fran probably figures he has to do it himself. He's thrown what should have been 2 touchdown passes, and both of them were dropped in this series of downs. The Giants, if nothing else, are killing the clock.
You know, Chip, coaches spend all week designing particular plays such as that last one to Clifton McNeil, and it was perfectly executed every step of the way, just the way it was written on the blackboard, and the ball wasn't caught. Now it's 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Handoff goes to Fredrickson, who drives up the middle, goes for a couple of 3 yards, and he stops. At about the 13-yard line, he picks up 2 yards.
Redskins were playing a 6- and 7-man line. That time, Manny Sistrunk stacked up the play. Myron Patios made the tackle. The Redskins are also alternating Dyron Talbot at end and tackle.
Well, it's 2nd and 8 at the 13-yard line of the Washington Redskins. The score is 0-0. The New York Giants have dropped 2 touchdown passes. We don't mean could have been touchdowns, but touchdown passes. No question about them. McNeil splits very wide out to the left side. Houston is flanked wide right. 2nd and 8 at the 13-yard line. Tarkinen is back to pass, setting up, going way back, rolling out to the left now, scrambling back there, being rushed hard. Starts to go to the far sideline, makes the turn, throws, and it's knocked down, deflected as he threw the ball, intended to the far side to Bobby Duhan, and it falls incomplete at the sideline at about the 7-8-yard line.
Fran was being chased by Verlin Biggs. Finally, Biggs forced him to throw it. Fran just did turn the corner, but Biggs was catching him, and Fran got rid of a football, never had a chance. He threw it while he was running desperately to his left, looking for the sideline, looking for Duhan. Not a very artistic play, but the Giants got off pretty easy.
Well, it's 3rd and 8 at the 13-yard line of the Skins. The score is 0-0. 8 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. Chip?
Skins looking for a better pass rush now. Jimmy Jones and Bill Brundage in on the left side.
3rd and 8 on the 13. It's Tarkinen goes back to pass. Penalty marker on the play. A screen to the right side, and it's caught, dropped, and penalty marker stopped the play anyhow. Tucker Fredrickson was the fellow who caught the screen at the right side, but I think he juggled it, and defensive holding may be called against the Giants. Oh, no, he pointed the other way against the Skins. It's defensive holding against the Skins, and the Giants get a big break. It'll be an automatic first down, a personal foul called against the Skins of defensive holding.
Looks like the Giants are again determined to play an incredible football game. We've had everything in a couple of minutes, or just about everything. That's tipped into...
Chip, hold it now. The Giants were illegally in motion on the play, and the Skins were holding. So the 2 penalties offset each other. So it's going to be 3rd down again, 3rd and 8 at the 13-yard line.
Jimmy Jones, the man who tipped that ball, Marty. He was in place of Ron McDowell, and Jones is an inch taller, so I guess Allen knew something.
So the last play is nullified. Joe Morrison comes in for Dick Coatside at tight end this time. It's 3rd and 8 at the 13-yard line. Key play, of course. No score in the game. Targeting them to the center, calling signals. Takes the snap. He jumps straight back. Throws over the middle. And it's caught by Fredrickson, and he lunges forward to the 6-yard line. And I think he made the first down. It's going to be very, very close.
Well, they bring it back a yard. They just moved the ball back a yard.
Let's see. They're going to measure. It's going to be 4th and inches or a first down. First and goal to go at about the 6. Very close. We're at an angle to it as the ball is at the 6-yard line. And it is shy of a first down by about half the length of a football. Shy of a first down. And the Giants, Alex Webster is sending out Pete Gogolak. Webster is sending out Gogolak. The Giant offensive unit was waving out to the bench to say, no, we'll go for it, we'll go for it. But the Giants are going to go for the 3 from the 6-yard line. It would have been 4 and about 6 inches. And the Giants are going for the 3 points. They had 2 7-pointers earlier, but on 2 occasions dropped the ball. No score yet. Penalty marker is down. Delay of game called against the New York Giants. The Giants don't mind because the angle will be lessened as a result of the ball being brought back 5 yards from the 13-yard line to the 18-yard line. The ball is at the right hash mark.
Marty, the Redskins are now looking to the bench. What could happen here, and we've seen it happen, they might jump off sides and try and bring it back. And that, of course, will go on all afternoon. Let's see.
Well, the ball is now at the 11, and the kick will be from 7 yards further back at the 18-yard line. The angle is to the left. The angle is to the left to the open end of Yankee Stadium. Signals are being called. The ball is snapped, placed down, and booted this up, and it's good. It's through there. There's Hammett on the field with the score of the New York Giants 3, the Washington Redskins nothing.
This is George Meade reporting from the traffic knowing stop.
In New York, George Meade sees just about every kind of traffic problem, and exactly how well just about every kind of car does in those problems. So when it came time to get a new car for himself, what did he get? A Volkswagen.
Size, I think, is of the utmost importance around a big city such as New York. By the time I get into the city, most of the people have already been in there and seem to have eaten up all the good parking places. So all I'm left with is the leftovers. But I have never found any problem parking my Volkswagen. I have stuck it on the end of the street and in between 2 big trucks. So they are leftover spots, but I think the Volkswagen itself enjoys leftovers.
If you think a small car can also solve your parking problems, get the Bug, our small car with 23 years of practice.
Visit one of your local authorized Volkswagen dealers and see the Volkswagen Beetle. So the New York Giants, who had 2 touchdown passes dropped in that series of downs, have to settle for an 18-yard field goal by Pete Gogolak. They go ahead in the ball game 3-0 with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Marty?
Here's the kickoff now for Gogolak. Kick is high and deep coming down to Duncan. And it hits the crossbar and goes through for 3 points. No, it doesn't go through for 3 points. Actually hit the crossbar and bounded through the uprights. It's automatically dead when it does hit any part of the goalpost. Incidentally, that's a rule I'd like to see changed, or a physical situation changed. I'd like to see those goalposts set back to the end line instead of the goal line and get them off the field of play and make field goal kicking a little bit more difficult, too, as the collegians have it now. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. It would just remove an obstruction from the field. Bill Kilmer, the quarterback, takes the snap. Throws a swing pass out to the right side to Taylor. Taylor moves upfield. Penalty marker on the play, and Taylor is knocked out of bounds at about the 28-yard line and advanced of 8 yards, but the penalty marker was thrown down.
That was Otto Brown fighting off the blocker. He didn't get Taylor, but he slowed Taylor down long enough for the Giants to drive him out of bounds. Penalty marker was thrown down just about where the block was thrown on Brown. Let's see what happens.
It's being marked off against the Washington Redskins by the referee, Ben Breed. And we'll wait and see what the signal is here. Ineligible receiver downfield, hands on head.
One of the linemen got ahead of himself there. The Giants, playing for the Washington running game, are using mostly a 6-man line so far, which means, of course, both outside linebackers come up to the line of scrimmage. Sometimes Heck will play on the strong side inside of the defensive end, Bob Lurtzman.
10-yard penalty on the last play, half the distance to the goal line. It's first and 20 at the 10-yard line. I formation in the backfield for the Skins. The handoff goes to Brown. Brown trying to circle wide, makes the turn upfield to the 15-yard line, now drives along the sideline of the 20, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. A fine run by Larry Brown as he ran it upfield for 13 yards.
Just simply ran away from both John Douglas and Willie Williams. Change of pace. He dipped inside. It was Spider Lockhart forcing Brown out of bounds. They went to the Giants' weak side. The block was put on Douglas to take him out of the play. Douglas rolled off the block, and then Brown just ran around Willie Williams.
It's second and 7 at the 23-yard line of the Washington Redskins. The Giants are out in front in the ball game by a score of 3-0. 7:45 to go here in the first quarter. A near fumble by Brown, but he recovers, drives off right tackle, and drives up to about the 28, 29-yard line where he stopped. An advance of about 6 on the play.
Eaton and Lockhart made the stop, but he broke through tackles by Lurtzma and Shea as they went off the Giants' left side.
It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 29 of the Washington Redskins. The Giants leading by a score of 3-0 as a result of the 18-yard field goal. by Pete Gogolak. 3rd and 1 at the 29. The Skins with Larry Brown and Charlie Haraway, the running back. Roy Jefferson as a flanker. Charlie Taylor, the split end. And Jerry Smith, the tight end. They go into a tight wing T, except for Jefferson flank wide to the left. 3rd and 1. Giants defense packed in solidly. Kilmer at quarterback. Takes the snap. Goes back to pass and throws deep. Way downfield to Taylor. He's got it ahead of the field. He's down to the 25-yard line to the 15. He's going all the way for a touchdown.
What a great call. Absolutely magnificent call.
Meanwhile, Charlie Haraway, who faked the handoff that time, is getting very slow to his feet back at the 25-yard line. The play was good for 61 yards and a touchdown. 71 yards on the touchdown, I should say. 71 yards. It was a fake into the line, and then a high, deep, law pass for Charlie Taylor, who faked blocking and drove straight downfield, a fly pattern, and he just outraced the secondary. Complete surprise against the New York Giants. A brilliant call, as Chip indicated. And it sure did work. So the Giants now trail 6-3. Point after attempt coming up in just a moment. Haraway being helped off the field, but he's on his feet. Number 31, Charlie Haraway, walking to the sideline.
He picked up a blitz, Marty, is what Haraway did.
Teams are lined up for the point after. Signals being called. The ball is snap, placed down and booted this up, and it's through there. So there's Talbot on the field with the score. The Washington Redskins 7, the New York Giants 3.
Most deodorants gradually run down and end up being ineffective. English Leather Plus deodorant is different. Because Plus is the triple-time release deodorant. First, Plus starts out keeping you extra dry and smelling great. Then, hours later, Plus releases another booster of deodorant and a fresh booster of English leather fragrance. Automatically, you have renewed protection. Wake up to English Leather Plus.
Hello, this is Kyle Rote. If you want to hear what the N people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants and Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Rote, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
Kurt Knight, who kicked the point after, ready to kick off once again. A rangy 6'2", wears number 5. Bobby Duhan and Rocky Thompson in twin safeties, one behind the other. Duhan up front. Thompson waiting under the goalpost. A low, booming kick, a hard drive, and it hits the upright, the right upright, and that's automatically a touchback.
Well, that's so far the best defense against Thompson, who has an almost 30-yard average running back kick. In the one game against Green Bay, ran back 5 for about 150 yards. On that last play, as Marty described it, a fake into the line. The Giants were packed in solidly. Almost a 7-man line went for it, and Taylor just dropped behind the secondary. It was a foot race between Taylor and Lockhart and Williams, and Taylor won it.
It's 1st and 10 now for the Giants. The ball's on their 20-yard line. Fran Tarkenton looking over that Skin defense. Tucker Frederickson and Bobby Duhan are the running backs. He takes the snap. He gives off to Duhan, who trips up back of the line of scrimmage and thrown for a loss at the 17-yard line, a 3-yard loss.
Making the tackle, number 79, Ron McDowell. He went right over a block by Bob Hyland. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is Steve Fitz, your contact host. Call us weeknights from 8 to midnight, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
Giants trailing in the ball game, 7-3. Washington Redskins just scoring on a 71-yard pass from Gilmer to Taylor. Marty?
A huge Army helicopter, looks like a Huey going by. Another one going by, two helicopters going by very low over the stadium. You can hear them in the background. A reverse play goes to Tucker Ferguson, drives over his own left yard, picks up 2 yards, up to the, no, he lost yardage on the play. Back to the 14-yard line. That was a delayed counter play back to the weak side, and apparently well diagnosed by the Skins because it was a 3-yard loss.
And McDowell again made the stop. And on obvious passing situations, Bill Brundage and Jimmy Jones coming in on the left side. Jones, the left end defensively, and Brundage, the left tackle defensively. Both big men, bigger than the men they're replacing.
Chip, it looks as though the New York Giants suddenly have flattened out, offensively at least. It's 3rd and 16 on the 14-yard line. And Saukonen now goes back to pass on 3rd and long. Throws down the middle, and it's caught by McNeil at the 26-yard line. He's down immediately, but it's not good enough for the first down.
Well, Clifton made a fine stumbling catch on that one before he dropped one right in his hand. What makes you talking about how they coach these plays? The coaches set them up, and they're supposed to go, Marty. The one thing they can't coach, though, is the ability to catch a football.
Well, it's 4th and 4 for the Giants on the 26-yard line of the Giants. The Giants are 4 yards shy of the first down, and now they're forced to punt. But as I say, the Giants don't look as sharp, as crisp, nearly as quick as they did in that opening series when they were deep in skin territory. The Giants are trailing 7-3, punt formation. Tom Blanchard, penalty marker on the plays. There's a high floating kick coming down at the 37-yard line. A fair catch called at the 38 by Ted Baxter. Penalty marker was down. And if the Skins were offside, it'll be a Giants first down. If the Giants were offside, the Skins may elect to refuse the penalty. Now they're going to take the penalty. The Giants were offside. And we see Coach George Allen on the near side, a slender, dark-haired gentleman with the red windbreaker of the Skins, motioning to take the penalty. It'll be fourth down coming up once again. The Giants will be forced to kick once again. 5-yard penalty exactly against the Giants. It's 4th and 9 now. Ball at the 21-yard line. Illegal motion called against the New York Giants.
Well, let's see now, Marty, what the difference is. They're going to kick from 5 yards further back, the Giants are. The Skins would have had the ball on their 38-yard line.
Okay, let's watch it. Speedy Duncan and Ted Baxter in twin safeties around their 43. Blanchard gets the snap in center and boosts that ball. It's a beauty. A high, deep kick way back. And it's caught at the 30-yard line, fumbled momentarily by Baxter. He eludes one man, comes to the sideline, drives upfield to the 35 or the 40, still on his feet to the 45, and knocked out of bounds at the Giants' 45. But a penalty marker has been thrown down back at the 35 of the Skins because the Skins were clipping.
Mac Alston, number 81. A tight end, a reserve tight end, threw a block, I think on Bob Hyland, an illegal block. I know it was Alston. I think it was Hyland that he clipped, and that's going to cost him. There's a tremendous kick. Dick Kotite has finally forced him out of bounds, but a tremendous kick by Blanchard. So it kind of negates everything we have to say because the penalty is going to set him back considerably back to their 20-yard line.
There's the referee placing the ball now right with the nose of the football resting at the 20-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Washington Redskins. The New York Giants are trailing 7-3, 4.5 minutes remain here in the first quarter. An exciting, frustrating first quarter of football, as 2 sure Giant touchdown passes by Fran Saukonen would drop. One by Tucker Frederickson and one by Clifton McNeil. McNeil was the softest pass. There's timeout on the field with a score. The Skins 7, the Giants 3. More Giants football right after this message.
Did you ever stop to think that one of our great national pastimes might be complaining? Sure it is. Everything from letters to the editor right on down to the family type of half-serious complaint. Like, if only my wife could make a good cup of coffee. Or, my husband won't fix anything around the house until it blows up in his face. But now your American Cancer Society asks, how many times have you heard a husband or a wife complain because one or the other skipped a yearly health checkup? Not too often, right? Well, if you care about that lifetime partner of yours, better make a double date right now. You see, that brief yearly interlude in your doctor's office could add many good years to your life together. You know, a checkup could disclose cancer early enough for cure, even when you're feeling fine. And that's why it makes family sense to fight cancer with a checkup and a check. When your American Cancer Society volunteer asks, please give generously.
Skins ball, 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Bill Kilmer, the quarterback. Larry Brown and Charlie Haraway, the running back. Kilmer takes it, goes back to pass, throws out to the right side. It completes to Jefferson. Jefferson drives upfield at the 30, the 32-yard line, and down he is at the 32. A quick pass into the right flat to Jefferson.
It was Bernie McRae and Scott Eaton making a stop on the players, watching Ralph Peck getting up very slowly. Redskins now in the game, Marty. They're doing the same thing Pittsburgh did so well against the Giants in the last exhibition game, going to the flankers, kind of a screen pass to the flanker, trying to get the flanker, well, not a screen pass, but loose on a one-on-one situation.
It's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line as the last play. Picked up 12 yards. Jefferson flanked wide to the left side. Taylor split right. The handoff goes to Larry Brown. Brown drives up the middle. cuts off one tackler, drives upfield to the 39-yard line before he stopped, shedding tacklers and bumping his way along as he picks up 7 yards.
Broke tackles by number 55 Heck, by number 55 Heck, 58 middle linebacker Files, and 76 Lake before Lockhart made the stop. He just does, as you say, shed tacklers, and he's not big. He's only 195 pounds, but the team runs.
Ball placed down at the 40-yard line, makes it 2nd and 2 at the 40 as he picks up 8 yards. He being Larry Brown. High formation in the backfield. Haraway in front of Larry Brown. 2nd and 2 at the 40-yard line. Kilmer calls signals, gives off to Haraway, bucks off his own right guard and goes for about 2. It may be shy of the first down. They may measure on this one. It's close.
Lurchman made the initial stop. He got help from Jim Files, the middle linebacker. Very close.
Oh, it's 3rd and a couple of feet at about the 42-yard line. The nose of the football resting on the hash mark at the 42.
That's where the Giants got burned before. Short yardage situation like this, Kilmer called a beauty.
Well, it's 3rd and about a foot at the 42. Mac Alston is in at tight end, replacing Roy Jefferson. Flanker wide to the right side. The rest of the ball club is tight. The flanker is Charlie Taylor. 3rd and 1 at the 42. Signals being called. The handoff goes to Brown. He swings wide. He stopped back there, and he short of the first down. A brilliant play as he's pulled down for a 1-yard loss.
Scott Eaton, playing almost as a fourth linebacker up at the line of scrimmage practically, grabbed him with one hand and held on until Jim Files came along to help out and bring Brown down. Fine defensive play.
It was a 4-yard loss, a 2-yard loss on the play. Back to the 40-yard line, makes it 4th and 3 at the 40-yard line. Mike Bragg in front formation now for the Washington Redskins. Twin safeties for the New York Giants. Spider Lockhart and Bobby Duhan around their own 20. Bragg on his own 26. 7-3, the Skins lead the Giants. A couple of minutes to go here in the first quarter. Bragg gets the snap from center, moves forward, and he boots that ball a high, beautiful spiral, a perfect kick. Coming down inside the 15 and the 12-yard line, and Duhan is hit immediately. That kick was so high in the air, there was plenty of time for the Skins to get underneath. And there's scuffling amongst the players. They're being pulled apart, one from the other, being forced back. And now punches are being thrown between 2 of the men down there. And the officials step in and separate them. Well, there's some hard feelings since this ball game started. On the very first play from scrimmage, Larry Brown was given a penalty for punching unsportsmanlike conduct. And a penalty marker thrown down now, too.
It's number 24, Marty, for the Washington Redskins, whose number we don't have, believe it or not, on the program. He was wrestling with the ball after the whistle had blown. He was wrestling with the ball with Bobby Duhan, finally pulled it away from Duhan, and Duhan shoved him away, and he took a punch at Duhan, and then Pat Hughes threw a punch in there, and as you said, the blood has been boiling since the very first play of this ball game. Very bitterly fought ball game, and now Coach George Allen is talking to his men directly in front of us.
Right. The yardsticks haven't been placed down yet. There's a penalty marker still on the field around the 12-yard line, and the referee, Ben Drees, has been talking also with the coach, Coach George Allen. There's no official over to the far side. Personal fouls called against the Giants and against the Skins. Offsetting penalties.
Quickly, some other scores. First period scores. Detroit 3, New England nothing. In the first period, Buffalo 7, Miami 3 in the first period. Also in the first period, Cincinnati 3, Pittsburgh nothing.
Ball at the 15-yard line. First and 10 of the 15 of the New York Giants. The Giants offense has to regenerate its own drive, which it certainly had in the opening minutes of play. And those 2 drop passes may have dulled their lift. And let's see what they can do about it here. It's first and 10 at the 15-yard line. McNeil splits wide out to the right side. Rich Houston split wide left. Man in motion. Bobby Duhan going off to the left. One deep back. Going back to pass the talk on the first down. Throws deep down to the right side to McNeil. Way downfield. He dumps the ball again. He made the catch. He had the ball in his hand. And he dumped it going to the ground. That was a very tough catch to make. But he had the ball in his hand, and he could have held on. He dumped it, just short of the 50-yard line.
Well, that's incredible.
If Van Tarkin was throwing any better, he couldn't be throwing any better.
No way.
He's putting this ball right in their hands, and although it would have been a tough diving catch, he had both hands on it. It occurred right in front of us at the near sideline to us. And he went down to the ground and just dropped it as he went down. Second and 10 at the 15-yard line. Incidentally, McNeil and I are good friends. And I'm not picking on the man. It's just that this is what is happening. 2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line. McNeil slips to the right side. Houston is flank wide left. Stockton again goes back to pass. Sets up, throws over the middle, and is intercepted. Running it back from the 15-yard line down to the 10. He may go all the way. He does. It's a touchdown. Scored by Jack Pardee.
Stepped right in front of the intended receiver. He read that all the way. Pardee stepped right in front of Bobby Doohan, who was coming out of the backfield, took it in.
13-3. The Washington Redskins lead. The run back of about 20 yards, I should guess. Pardee had a whole wall of blockers after he sidestepped one man. And it's ratted in along the left side and on the left corner. The Giants trail now 13-3. Chip.
Incredible series of events. We've used the word incredible several times, but the Giants looked like they could have gone off to an easy 7-0 lead. They suddenly trail 14-3.
Here's the point after attempt by Kurt Knight. The ball snapped, placed down, and kicked, and it's good. So there's time out on the field to score. The Washington Redskins 14, the New York Giants 3.
Do you know what fouled spark plugs can do? They can make your engine waste gasoline and lose power and mileage. But you don't have to worry about fouled plugs because Mobil Premium has an anti-fouling agent designed especially for spark plugs. We put it in our premium gasoline to help keep your spark plugs from fouling. So use Mobil Premium gasoline. It can help your car's performance.
Well, among other things, the Giants are trailing 14-3 with 1 minute and 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. Chip Cipolla, along with Marty Glickman, and number 24 for the future, we found out is Bill Malinchik, a reserve wide receiver.
Here's the kickoff way up in the air. Rocky Thompson gets it at the 1-yard line. Starts to his right. Up to the 10. He comes to the 15 and pulls away from one man, but down by another at the 16-yard line.
That's Malinchik, number 24. Glad we found out who he is. He's the first man downfield on these kick returns. Ted Vactor also helping out by coming across and forcing Thompson to run around, and Malinchik was able to catch him.
Saw Scott Eaton walking off the field into the Giants locker room. I don't know quite why, obviously an injury. And there's Dr. Tony Pisani walking off to the locker room also through the baseball dugout. And Eaton probably will not be on the next series of defensive plays. Now it's 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. Fran Targeton calling signals. Regular pro set. Running back Duhan and Fredrickson. Fredrickson takes the handoff, goes over his own left guard, and drives upfield for about 3 yards before he stops at the 18.
Giants opened up a hole in the middle of the Washington Redskins line, but it was quickly closed by Marin Patios, the middle linebacker. Patios, an 11-year veteran from Notre Dame.
He's one of the youngsters on the ball club.
Yeah, they have Pardee, who's a 14-year veteran. He showed his age before by going 20 yards with an interception. Pat Fisher is an 11-year veteran. These are just the defensive men, Marty.
It's 2nd and 7 at the 18-yard line. Giants come to the line of scrimmage. McNeil slips wide left. Houston flank wide right. Talking it back to pass, being rushed hard, being pulled down for a big loss back around the 4-yard line.
A blitzing Chris Hamburger. Matty Sistrunk also coming through, but Hamburger from the weak side blitzing and catching Cartman before he could even set. Fran was just trying to spin away. He never had a chance.
Ball placed down at the 5-yard line. 13-yard loss on the play makes it 3rd and 20 at the 5. The quarter should end in just a moment or two. Clock is put back in once again. 3 seconds to go in this first quarter. And the gun will sound. There it is. That's the end of the first quarter with a score. The Washington Redskins 14, the New York Giants 3. More Giants football right after this message.
You are aboard the hospital ship Hope. Since Hope's first voyage more than 10 years ago, more than 1,500 American medical personnel have served with the project. Individuals like Janet Kaiser of Stillwater, Oklahoma. She worked with Project Hope for 10 months in the field of audiology.
We make an effort to deal with individuals on an individual level, and we're pleased when we do something for someone.
We know you can't necessarily take a year out of your life to go to a distant continent and do what Janet Kaiser has done, but you can help us send these medical ambassadors abroad. Can you spare time to make your contribution to Project Hope? That's Project Hope, Room A, Washington, D.C.
Look at the sidelines, Mark. New York Giants in very, very poor field position. They have the ball on their own 5-yard line. 3rd down and 20 to go. Marty?
This is one of those situations Tarkenton likes to laugh about after the season. 3rd and 20 on your own 5. Man in motion to the right side of Fredrickson. Tarkenton hands up to Bobby Doon and breaks up the clear up to the right side of the 10 of the 15-yard line, and he stopped at the 15-yard line. Tarkenton taking no chances with a fine call on a quick trap play up to the 15-yard line. It picked up 10 yards, but it's still 5 yards shy of first down.
Taking a head-on stop was number 16, Richie Pettibone. They got help from Pat Fisher as Bobby Doohan sprung loose from the tightly knit Washington line, right in there, very tight. Once he got past the line of scrimmage, there were no linebackers to stop him. The secondary had to make the stop.
Here's Tom Blanchard jumping back to his own goal line, ready to punt. Speedy Duncan and Ted Baxter in twin safeties on their own 45. Blanchard waiting to snap in center. Gets it, moves forward. Boots that ball, end over end kick, and fairly deep coming down at the 42-yard line, taken by Baxter. Baxter starts to his right. Up to the midfield line, gets a good block up down to the 45. There's another tackle, drives downfield. Penalty markers are down all over the field. And the ball carrier run out of bounds at the 33-yard line of the Giants, but there are penalty markers thrown down. May have been more clipping.
It looks like they did it to Bob Highland again. He got up and he gave a look to Mr. Malinchek, who seems to be all over the place. Malinchek threw the block. There are 2 down, so there's more than one penalty or 2 on the same penalty because the flags are very close to each other. That's what it was, Malinchek, and again on Highland. And Highland got up and looked at Malinchek. He just shook his head and walked off the field.
Malinchek was just activated by the Washington Redskins for the ball game today. That's why his name doesn't appear on the roster. Just activated either yesterday or this morning. The penalty is exacted against the Skins, brings the ball back to their own 42-yard line. The New York Giants are trailing in this game 14-3, and as frustrating a first quarter of football as I've seen in quite a while. Say, the skies are lightening considerably now. There's no threat of rain at the moment. It's a high gray sky. It's 1st and 10 now for the Skins on their 42-yard line. Taylor splits wide out to the right side. Jefferson is flanked wide left. I formation in the backfield. And the handoff goes to Larry Brown. He finds the big hole, cuts off his own left guard, and drives it for only 3 yards up to the 45-yard line. The hole open but closed just as rapidly.
That was Fred Dreyer slicing across from his right defensive end position. Incidentally, Joe Green is in for Scott Eaton at tight safety. The Giants lose quite a bit of size on that switch. Green is 4 inches shorter and 10 to 15 pounds lighter. Giants were in a 6-man line that time, both outside linebackers coming up outside of the defensive end.
It's 2nd and 7 at the 45-yard line of the Washington Redskins. The Redskins leading the ball game 14-3, 13 and a half minutes to go in this first half. Jefferson flanked wide left this time. Charlie Taylor split wide right. The handoff goes to Larry Brown, trying to circle on the left side. He stops back there, tries to circle back. He bellies back deep. He's way back of the line of scrimmage. Now he starts upfield, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Remarkable run, dancing back and forth and bellying back deep and finally getting back to the line of scrimmage for no loss and no gain.
Lurchma chasing him all over the field. Actually, it was originally Dreyer and Douglas, who just stripped him of his interference and forced him to reverse his field. And then Lurchma broke through and forced him, Brown, to belly back before he was finally brought down by Bernie McRae. Lurchma didn't make the stop, but he caused him to belly back far enough so that he could only get up to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 7 at the Skins 45-yard line. The Skins go to the line of scrimmage. Bill Kilmer looking over the Giant defense. Now he ducks in under the center. They're running back to Haraway and Brown. Jefferson flanked wide left. Taylor split wide right. A quick pass over the middle is caught by Jerry Smith, and he's got the first down. Just a quick pass to Smith, the tight end, over the middle. The quarterback raised up and lobbed the ball about 5 yards downfield, and Smith racing straight downfield, plucked it out of the air and drove for several yards more, and he's pulled down at the 44-yard line of the New York Giants. The play is good for 11 important yards.
Wiles and Joe Green making a stop as the Giants that time were in the strong side zone, and they just found that little seam in the zone, they being Kilmer, made good on the first down.
It's 1st and 10 at the 44 of the New York Giants. The Skins are leading in the ball game 14-3 midway through this second quarter. The handoff goes to Charlie Haraway, drives off left guard, and pulls his way forward to about the 40-yard line of the Giants, picking up about 4 yards.
Roland Lakes and Fred Dreyer making the stop. As again, the Giants on the first down, usually in the second down, too, will use that six-man line trying to guard against the run.
It's 2nd and 6 at the 40 of the New York Giants. The Skins going with Bill Kilmer at quarterback, Haraway and Brown the running backs, and Roy Jefferson the flanker, Charlie Taylor the split end. John Wilbur. The center is Len House. 2nd and 6 at the 40-yard line. Signals called. Bill Kilmer with a long count. Still calling him. Takes the snap, drops straight back. Looking downfield, throws out to the right flat. And it's caught by Brown. He's hit down immediately at the 39-yard line of the New York Giants. The play is good for only 1 yard.
Giants again in the zone. That time Ralph Heck covering the area. Taylor was right in front.
Flag down, yes. On the far side of the field, we see a flag now around the 31-yard line, and apparently the penalty is against the Washington Redskins. They're pointing towards the Skins, and the Skins are walking back towards their goal line.
It looks like it might have been an offensive interference penalty.
And the penalty is going to be refused. No. It is offensive interference, and the Giants are accepting the penalty. It would have been 3rd and 5. Now it's 2nd down again. 2nd and much longer yardage. 2nd and 21. Ball is back at the 45-yard line of the Washington Redskins.
Well, in the last play, the Giants, as I said, were in the zone, and they had the zone covered perfectly. Taylor caught the pass, but he was covered as soon as he caught it by Ralph Peck.
It's 2nd and 22 to be precise. 2nd and 22 at the 45-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Taylor splits very wide out to the left side. Roy Jefferson flanks right. Only about 5 yards. Running back to Haraway and Brown. Quarterback Bill Kilmer looking right and left as he calls signals. Takes the snap. Goes straight back. Throws a swing pass to the left side. Caught by Brown out in the left flat. And Brown is down at about the 49-yard line and advances 4.
Willie Williams recovering. Also getting some help from John Douglas. Douglas had come up inside, playing just off the head of the defensive right tackle Roland Lakes. Douglas looking as though he might be thinking of blitzing, and then he dropped back to help out on that play, and he, along with Willie Williams, covered.
It's 3rd and 18 at the 49-yard line of the Washington Redskins. There are 10.5 minutes to go here in the first half. The New York Giants are trailing the Skins 14-3. Taylor splits wide out to the left side. Jefferson flanks wide right. Brown and Haraway, the running backs. Kilmer, the quarterback. It's 3rd and long yardage, 3rd and 18. Kilmer back to pass. The blitz is on. It's picked up. Pass deep down the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Roy Jefferson. The ball sailed over his head even before he could get his hands up for it.
Bernie McRae was going not to cover Jefferson, but going for the interception. The blitz was on. Jim Files, the middle linebacker, was picked up, but big pressure put on by Lurtzma and Fred Dreyer caused Kilmer to throw the ball just a little bit prematurely.
Mike Bragg is in the lineup now. The punt is 4th and 18 on the 49-yard line. Twin safeties are back there for the New York Giants. Spider Lockhart and Bobby Duhan. They're between their 10 and 15-yard line. Bragg on his own 34-yard line. Swinging his right leg to loosen it up just a bit. Signals are being called now. 14-3, the Skins lead. Snaps it back to Bragg. He drives forward and almost blocked. Fine attempt by Athos there. Fair catch called by Spider Lockhart on about the 18-yard line. Athos really dove across the foot of the runner, foot of the punter rather, well in front of it, and showed great speed in getting in there, but he didn't quite get to it.
While that last defensive play was being set up, Marty, Fran Tarkenton had the entire Giant offensive team off to the sidelines down around the 25-yard line, and he was talking a little bit as though he was giving him a pep talk. There's time out on the field with the score of the Redskins 14, the Giants 3.
What would happen if you walked to the front of your car, lifted the hood, and dropped in a beach umbrella?
a suitcase, a fishing box, a blanket, a water jug, and 6 tennis rackets. You'd probably wreck your engine, because if your car is like most cars, it has an engine under the front hood. But if your car were a Volkswagen Squareback sedan, it would have a trunk under the front hood, so you could put all that stuff in front. And if you needed more space, you could put more stuff in back, because the VW Squareback has an even bigger trunk in back. With both trunks, it can carry a lot more stuff than the world's largest sedan, which means the Volkswagen Squareback is the world's largest sedan.
Visit one of your local authorized Volkswagen dealers and see the Volkswagen Squareback.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line, and Junior Coffey in his fullback takes the hand up and goes upfield, goes up to the 24-yard line as he picks up 6 yards on a slashing run.
Merlin Biggs making the stop. Coffey, just before that huddle by Tarkinen along the sidelines, had been warming up and down, showing that he was going to get ready to come in.
It's 2nd and 4 at the 24-yard line. Joe Morrison comes into the lineup now as a tailback this time, as Bobby Duan may have been hurt on the last play. So it's Morrison and Coffey, the running back. 2nd and 4 at the 24. The handoff to Joe Morrison. He stopped back at the line of scrimmage. And at the line of scrimmage, he's wrestled down for no gain.
Manny Sistrunk went right over his blocker and made a necktie tackle to bring Morrison down.
It's 3rd and 4 at the 24-yard line of the New York Giants. The New York Giants, who flattened out considerably after their opening series in the first quarter of play, when 2 sure touchdowns were dropped. Touchdown passes thrown by Tarkinen. The first one dropped at the 2-yard line by Tucker Ferguson. The second one dropped 6 yards in the end zone by Clifton McNeil. And they had him in their hands right there. Now it's 3rd and 4 at the 24-yard line. The Giants are trailing in the football game 14-3. Rolling out to the left is Fran Tarkinen. Throws on the run. Is caught by Morrison. A great catch. And he's down at the 35-yard line. A fine pass and a fine catch. Tarkinen to Morrison.
Old Pro showed them how to hold on to the football. The ball was thrown around his ankles, or at least around his knees. Joe reached down and plucked it off. His momentum was carrying him toward the near sidelines, and so was Chris Hamburger, who rode him down. Pat Fisher was the cornerback defending on the play, but it was a good play. Tarkinen had a tough way to throw that ball because he was running to his left.
Running to his left, and he had to throw out to his left, and of course he's a right-hander. Play picked up 11 yards on the first down, so it's 1st and 10 for the Giants on their 35-yard line. Slot formation to the left side. Both wide receivers are left, McNeil and Houston. Signals are being called by Fran Tarkinen. He got straight back to pass, setting up downfield. Look, now he starts throwing the ball. Almost tapped, and he is tapped finally at the 25-yard line. He started to scramble, but he was thrown for a 10-yard loss.
Actually, he was in the pocket. He had enough time to throw, but the receivers were well covered. And finally, they broke through. The pocket began to deteriorate, and Fran had to try to get outside of it. Manny Sistrunk brought him down. Some more scores quickly. Detroit 17 and New England nothing in the second period. Cincinnati is trailing Pittsburgh now in the second period 7-3, and it's Miami 9, Buffalo 7 in the second period. Also, Dallas 14, Philadelphia nothing in the second period.
And here at Yankee Stadium, the Washington Redskins lead the New York Giants 14-3 with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Now, slot formation to the right side. Both wide receivers are wide right. 2nd and 19 at the 26. Tarkinen takes the snap. Hands up to Joe Morrison. Drives off right guard. Picks up a yard or 2, and that's all.
Entire middle of the Washington line, led by Bill Brundage, Myron Patios, and Jimmy Jones. Brundage and Jones were in again. He seems to be two platooning his defensive left side, he being George Allen. Ron McDowell and Matty Sistrunk giving away to Jimmy Jones and Bill Brundage.
Now it's 3rd and 18 at the 27 of the New York Giants. The Giants trailing 14-3. As we said a few minutes ago, the skies have lightened considerably, and there is no imminent threat of rain. It rained earlier, but only lightly. Again, slot formation to the right side. Now the Giants go into a double wing formation. One deep back, Junior Coffey. Rolling out to the right is Tarkinen, looking downfield. Throws, angling back to the left. It's deflected and incomplete. It's into Joe Morrison at the 35-yard line. Joe had to reach back, got a hand on it, but couldn't hold on as the ball was thrown behind him, and it fell incomplete, so the Giants are now forced to punt.
That particular play, Myron Patios was pulled out, the middle linebacker was, and they used 5 defensive backs. Fisher and Leslie, Speedy Duncan, Pettibone, Brig Owens, and Mike Bass. Covering on that play was Chris Hamburger, as the Washington Redskins went into their prevent defense, which included 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs.
Tommy Blanchard back on his own 13-yard line, waiting to snap from center. Duncan and Backer in twin safeties. There's the punt. A good kick, a high, deep kick. It's a magnificent kick. Way back to the 19-yard line, taken there by Factor, and he's double-teamed and down at the 27-28-yard line. A great punt. One of the prettiest of the year by Tom Blanchard.
Ron Hornsby just destroyed the blocker on the play. Speedy Duncan went right over him to make the stop. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is Shannon in the morning, coming your way Monday through Saturday, 5:30 to 10, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
It's a long time since Giant fans saw punting like that. Blanchard really got his foot into the ball. Incidentally, we're told that Scott Eaton, who walked into the locker room about 5 minutes ago, pulled a muscle in his back. He's being taped up, and he's expected to be back for the second half. There are 7 minutes, about 7.5 minutes to play here in the first half. The Giants trailing in the ball game 14-3. The Giants, who looked so good in their first drive after getting the ball, holding the Washington Redskins deep in their territory, getting the ball at midfield. They had, as we've repeated over and over in the game, 2 touchdown passes dropped in that first drive. They had to settle for an 18-yard field goal by Pete Gogolak. And then about a minute and a half later, the Redskins on a short yardage situation, third down and short yardage situation. The Giants packed in tightly, looking for the running play. Gilmore pulled the beauty. He sent Taylor deep. Didn't have to send him too deep because the Giants were in so tightly. Taylor got behind the secondary and went 71 yards for touchdown. And then 5.5 minutes later, Jack Pardee picked off a Fran Tarkenton pass, went 20 yards for touchdown. The Redskins lead 14-3. Marty?
First and 10 for the Skins on their 28-yard line. Jefferson flank wide to the right side. Taylor split wide left. I formation in the backfield. The handoff. No. He goes back to pass. Gilmer does. Throws over the middle. It's caught by Jerry Smith, and he's still at the 45 of the Skins. A fine fake into the line. And Jerry Smith, the tight end, cutting across the line of scrimmage, ran it up to the 45 where he's down, and a low tackle spilled, and the ball placed down now at the 46-yard line.
They found a hole in the Giants' zone. The Giants were then trying to go into a weak side zone with the strong safety. Joe Green in place of Scott Eaton, moving to the weak side, but Smith got in between the cornerback Williams and Green, and with an easy completion.
18 yards on the play, and it's first and 10 on the 46. Kilmer back to pass, rolls out to the left, now to the right, throws on the run, deep down to the right side to Jefferson, way downfield, and it's incomplete at the 15-yard line of the Giants.
Bob Lurchmer broke through the pocket, but Kilmer got away from him and threw the ball on the run. Jefferson had gotten behind Bernie McRae. McRae was coming up because he had to guard that side, and Kilmer threw the ball off balance, though. Did get it out there quite a bit, though. He threw it off balance. He threw it 50 yards off balance.
Well, it's second and 10 for the Skins. The ball is on their 46-yard line. The New York Giants trail Washington 14-3. A little better than 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Capacity crowd is always here at Yankee Stadium. The lights were turned on before the ball game actually got underway, but it's a good deal lighter now than it was at the start of the game. The Skins, in their gold and white uniforms with red trim, move to the line of scrimmage. Kilmer calling signals. Jefferson flank wide right, split wide left, Charlie Taylor. He takes the snap, Kilmer does, goes straight back, sets up, throws, angling on the left, and it's caught by Taylor at the 40-yard line of the Giants. He tries to pull through, but he's down at the 37-yard line of the New York Giants. Another first down for the Skins.
Kilmer keeps finding cracks in the Giants' zone defense, that time right in front of the cornerback, Willie Williams. Giants looked like they might be thinking of a blitz. Spider Lockhart twice came into the line of scrimmage. The Giants were packed in with a 6-man line. And still, with the rush, giving it all they could, Kilmer got the ball off with plenty of spare.
You notice, Chip, that those seams seem to be about 17, 18 yards downfield.
They are. They're playing it very loosely.
Pass completion to Jerry Smith was 18 yards, and now for Taylor it was 17 yards. Going back to pass again, Kilmer throws out to the right side. It's caught by Brown, and Brown is tackled immediately at the 32-yard line and advances about 5 on the play.
Put Brown one-on-one with Ralph Heck, but Heck kept Brown in front of him and then made the stop. We're told now that Scott Eaton has a pulled hamstring. That sounds a little more serious than the back muscle we were informed about before.
And Scotty, of course, has had those hamstring pulls for several seasons now, and certainly has hampered his play. It's 2nd and 6 at the 33-yard line. That last play picking up 4 yards. Jefferson slips wide out to the left side. Charlie Taylor is flanked wide right. Running back to Haraway and Brown. Bill Kilmer, the quarterback. Sonny Jurgensen injured. The handoff goes to Brown. He bucks off his own right guard, drives up the middle for a couple of yards down to the 31-yard line.
Giants just stacked up the play. The entire middle of the Giant line did. Jerry Shea getting up from the bottom. Also Jim Files. The only yardage picked up was through the fourth of Brown's run, and the And the initial impact of the offensive line is setting the Giants back perhaps a couple of yards.
One of the threats of these Washington Redskins is the running ability of their receivers. Charlie Taylor, for example, was one of the finest running backs in the National Football League before they converted him to a wide receiver.
They also know how to catch the ball.
That's right. Double wing formation now for the Skins. One deep back, Charlie Haraway. A fake pitch out to the left side. Now it is pitched to the left side to Haraway. Haraway pulls away from one man and another. Swings back, reverses his field, drives upfield, gets down to about the 27-yard line, and he's got the first down. It was 3rd and 4, and on a broken play, just his own determination and drive, he picked up 5 yards. He needed 4.
John Douglas had him behind the line of scrimmage. Ralph Heck finally made the stop. Heck and Files, but Douglas and Shea had him behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage, and he just would not go down.
Well, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants trail the Skins by a score of 14-3. The Skins moving towards the open end of Yankee Stadium. They're at line of scrimmage now with Taylor split wide to the left side, Jefferson flank wide right. Bill Kilmer, a Husky 6-footer, takes the snap. Hands up to Brown, trying to swing wide around the right side. Cuts the field down to the 25-yard line. Bucks off one man, and it's not got a bounce at the near side around the 23-yard line. The play picks up only 3 yards forward, but he kept driving all the way as he started to hit at the line of scrimmage.
John Wilbur, a guard, put a block on Ralph Heck. Just totally took him out of a play. Knocked Heck right back on his heels. Knocked him out of a play and enabled that one to go. Joe Green finally made the stop, but it was a beautiful block by John Wilbur that destroyed Ralph Heck for that particular play that made it go.
It's 2nd and 7 at the 23 of the Giants. The Redskins in possession, and they possess the lead by a score of 14-3, and now there are 3 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in this first half. Outside of the opening series, it's been all Skins thus far. Back to pass comes Kilmer, sets up, throws, angling to the right, and it's caught by Jefferson. He's out of bounds at the 12-yard line as the play picks up some 11 yards.
Jefferson turned Bernie McRae around. McRae was going deep, thinking Jefferson was going deep, and then Roy just curled in front of him and had plenty of room to make that reception. Right now, Marty says, as he says, the Giants looked like a dispirited team. They lost their, what people laughingly refer to as momentum after that first series of downs.
Well, it's 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line of the New York Giants. The Skins are threatening. They lead in the ball game 14-3. 3:40 to go in this first half. Kilmer takes the snap. Goes back. Throws a pass into the right flat to Taylor, and Taylor is hitting his tracks and toppled over backwards at the 14-yard line, a 2-yard loss.
Bernie McRae recovering very quickly as they again tried that one-on-one pass to their wide receiver. Set the wide receiver and throw that sideline pass and hope the wide receiver either will get the blockers out in front of him on time or perhaps that he can dance away from the defender. That time the blockers did not get out on time, the interior line blockers, and Bernie McRae came up to make the stop.
Ball is at the 13-yard line, makes it 2nd and 11 for the Skins on the New York Giants 13. Of course, they're well within field goal range. The Skins are leading 14-3. At the line of scrimmage now, Kilmer looking over that Giant defense, standing still. Bill Kilmer, call signal, takes a snap, drops straight back, throws over the middle, and it's fumbled by Charlie Taylor, and he stops it, and it's incomplete. Taylor had the ball at the 5. He might have gone in all the way, too, but he just bobbled it. Thrown a little bit behind him. He had to reach behind, but he had his hands on it, bobbled it, and it fell away incomplete.
Just a simple post pattern, one of the toughest passes to defend against, and Taylor had beaten Bernie McRae on it. McRae, of course, was trying to come over from the zone that he was covering. Jim Files, I guess, was responsible for dropping back on that one, or I would assume that he was, but nobody had dropped back, and on that post pattern, Taylor had his man beaten. Well, now they know how it feels, Marty. Stopping a sure touchdown pass.
Well, it wasn't quite as certain as the Giants' pass at that time. Now it's 3rd and 11 at the 13-yard line. Kilmer going straight back, sets up, looks to his left, now throws to his right, down the middle, and it's almost, it is caught in the, no, it's fumbled and it's incomplete. A Giant had it, and it popped out of his hands for a sure interception, and then to Roy Jefferson, who had it pop out of his hands, and then it fell incomplete. Both the Giant and the Skin had hands on it momentarily as the ball was popped up in the air, and then finally it fell incomplete.
I got to check that football because everybody's having trouble holding on to it today.
Well, field goal attempt comes up here. Knight will try it from the 21-yard line.
Tremendous protection, incidentally, for Kilmer on that. The Giants didn't get close to touching it.
The angle is to the left. 21 yards out. Ball a snap, placed down and booted. It's up, and it is no good. It's no good. It's wide to the right. They are kicked. So there's time out on the field, and the score remains. The Washington Redskins 14, the New York Giants 3.
Pete Hatt.
Help you, ma'am?
Yes, I'd like some English leather aftershave.
Certainly.
And some English leather shave cream.
Anything else?
Yes, English leather hairspray.
Uh-huh.
Some English leather cologne and soap and a rope.
Right.
English leather plus deodorant. No, a bottle of shampoo.
Not so fast, please.
Himalayan stick deodorant.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I almost forgot. English leather Quinard hair tonic. I think that's all.
Say, you must be one of those English leather ladies. You know, all my men wear English leather, every one of them.
What was your first clue?
Hello, this is Kyle Roach. If you want to hear what the N people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants and Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Roach, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
So the Giants get a big break as the Washington Redskins' Kurt Knight misses a chippy field goal. Made a magnificent attempt to block it, and he flattened the holder, fell right on top of the holder.
Fredrickson is in as fullback and Joe Morrison as running back.
Brand talking on the quarterback. Morrison fields off to the left. He goes in motion.
It's first and 10 at the 20. Talking rolls back to his right to pass. Throws to the right side. Had it struck by McNeil. He's not got it bounds at about the 30-yard line. It's just about good enough for the first down, and you can hear the derisive cheer by the crowd because McNeil held on.
Mark it exactly on the 30-yard line, so it should give the Giants the first down. Yes, it is the first down. That was Mike Bass defending on the play, came up quickly to force McNeil out of bounds. Clifton had already completed the pass. And the Giants get themselves a first down. What they need with the 2.5 minutes left to play in the first half is a score to get themselves back in the ball game.
Slot formation over the left side.
Houston on the outside, and in the slot is
McNeil. It's first and 10 at the 30. Back to pass is Target and sets up, throws down the middle. Had it caught by Kosai.
Another first down at the 41-yard line. Really fired that ball, and picking up a blitzing linebacker, a fine block by Tucker Fredrickson. Coming from the other side, Chris Hamburger, but Tucker rode him out of a play, enabling Fran Target to make the completion. Brig Owens made the stop.
The tail of the football resting at the 40-yard line. The Giants go to the line of scrimmage again. First and 10 at the 40. The running backs are Fredrickson and Morrison. The handoff goes to Tucker Fredrickson. He drives off right tackle. Moves the field for 10 yards again. Up to the midfield line. 3 plays, 30 yards.
Something we don't see Tucker do that well that often anymore. He cut back beautifully, running for daylight. Timeout on the field as the 2-minute warning is given. The 2-minute mark has been reached. Timeout on the field with the score. The Washington Redskins 14, the New York Giants 3. More Giants football right after this message.
This is Johnny Carson. Remember VE and VJ Day? The days that brought an end to World War II? That was 25 years ago when millions of us said, rejoice. That's over with, and we're still alive. But most of us had nagging doubts. We couldn't forget those thousands of sad, bedraggled, bewildered war orphans wandering forlornly over the world. Then we heard about UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund. The organization that went back where war had been and picked up the sick and homeless kids and began taking care of them. That was 25 years ago, too. And UNICEF is still in there, pitching harder than ever. Lest we forget what UNICEF did for the kids of our time, let's all help again now to help them make a better world for the kids of this time. They need us more than ever right now. Write UNICEF, United Nations, New York, 10017. The kid your buck helps could as well be your own. Write UNICEF, United Nations, New York, 10017. Thank you.
This is Chip DeBolo along with Marty Glickman back at in each of the plays. They in the huddle, and once again here's Marty Glickman.
Ball is inches shy. Giants going to a double wing back. And throws deep. the 5-yard line. That ball must have been thrown 60 yards in the air. That was a fine throw and a fine effort by Rich. Greg Larson, right over his own left side, the right side. Hey, wait a second. That ball is very, very close to that first down now. You see where Sargent is arguing with the officials now about where it's placed down. It's going to be mighty, mighty close. He looked like he was a lot further than that. He slid off at least. He's bigger than that. He slid off a full body length. The R6 are out there now, and it is a first down just by a fraction. And now it's so close, the Skins are arguing about the call with the R-stick out there. There's that replacement again for the Washington Redskins defensively on the left side of the line. Jimmy Jones and Bill Brundage coming in from Ron McDowell and Manny Sistrunk. Out in San Francisco, they have 4 defensive linemen that they alternate. Washington does it with 2 of them. A minute and 37 seconds to go here in the first half. The Giants trailing 14-3 and trying to beat that clock as well. First and 10 at the midfield line, the tail of the football at the 50-yard line. Signals being called by Fran Tarkinen. His running backs are Morrison and Frederiksen. Now Morrison peels off to the left. He's in motion. Back to pass is Tarkinen. Sets up, looks downfield, looking for Morrison. He eludes one man, trying to get away from another. Now he has time. Sets up, plays, throws down the middle. Incomplete. And a penalty marker is down. McNeil was run into by Jack Pardee. It's an interference call against the Skins at their 45-yard line. Very obvious interference call. Pardee actually started to tackle McNeil while the ball was still in the air. Pardee was beaten on the play. He knew it. He was trying to recover by, try to get away with something, and he didn't. Pardee, with 14 years' experience, knows all the tricks. That time it was too blatant. Ball placed down at the 46-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Automatic first down as the personal foul is called against Pardee for pass interference. Bobby Duhon is in at running back now, replacing Joe Morrison. So it's Duhon and Frederiksen as the runners. Tarkinen the quarterback. Flanker back is Rich Houston. The tight end, Dick Totype, a split end, Clifton McNeil. Houston flanks wide out to the right side. McNeil is now split left. First and 10 at the 46. A minute and 10 seconds to go here in the half. Hand up to Bobby Duhon. A tap play. He drives up the middle. Picks up blockers. He's down inside the 35. Down to the 33-yard line. And he stops at the 33. And the Giants call for time. Willie Young opening the hole that time. Leading the play. Big yardage picked up by the New York Giants. Well, he did a beautiful job. He opened up the hole at the line of scrimmage and then went downfield, took out a linebacker, enabling Bobby to get additional yardage. Timeout is called, and the stop was finally made by Chris Hamburger. Myron Patios in on the play, too, but not before Willie had ridden him out, and then Patios came back. So the Giants, desperately in need of a score here in order to get back in the ball game, trailing 14-3, are moving smartly downfield. They have the same kind of crispness they had in the opening drive. The opening drive, it was negated by 2, and we keep repeating it only because it's a fact. 2 dropped touchdown passes, one by Tucker Frederiksen and one by Clifton McNeil. Clifton is not having a very good day. He dropped 2 passes, one the touchdown pass, and another one on a fly pattern, although with a far more difficult catch that he was attempting. He had that 2 in his hands and dropped that one. Giant receivers have had trouble holding on to the ball, and the Giant tacklers have had trouble holding on to the Washington Redskins. They let Charlie Haraway get away on a run where they had him behind the line of scrimmage and enabled him to pick up the first down. He just simply shed tacklers as though he was wearing grease. Not a good day for Clifton McNeil so far. Not a good day for the New York Giants. 2 undefeated teams meeting here at Yankee Stadium. Undefeated. They've each played 1 game and won 1 game. 14-3. The Giants trailing and trying to get their offense rolling once again. Tarkinen, who's been huddling along the sidelines with the Giant head coach Red Webster and with Norm Hecker, the assistant coach, the defensive coach, and also with Joe Walton. Now comes back into the huddle. The Giants are out of the huddle, and once again, here's Marty Glickman. It's first and 10 on the Skins' 33-yard line. Slot formation on the right side. The running backs are Duhon and Frederiksen. Tarkinen calling signal. Peeling off to the left side is Duhon. 1 deep back remains as Duhon is in motion. Going back to pass is Tarkinen. Throws deep down to the right corner. Penalty marker is down, and it was intended deep for Clifton McNeil. The penalty marker was thrown down, as I think Tarkinen was hit down. And Charlie Harper may have been holding, and the Giants are going to be penalized. That's what it was, holding call against the Giants. And Charlie Harper it was, I believe, who did the holding. So it'll be 15 yards from the spot of the previous down. It'll go back to the 48-yard line, and it'll be first and 25 at the 48 of the Washington Redskins.
Good defensive play, two downfield, Marty. We were watching the action back here, but Clifton McNeil, the intended receiver, was run into by the defensive back, completely knocked off stride by Pat Fisher. This was before the ball was thrown. It was perfectly legal. When the ball was finally released, there was no receiver in sight. Fisher just took McNeil out of a play by bumping him out of it.
There are 59 seconds remaining here in this first half. The New York Giants are trailing 14-3, but the Giants, as Chip pointed out, look much more alive here in the closing minutes of the first half than they did most of the first half since the opening drive was stopped. First and 25 at the 48-yard line. McNeil flips wide out to the left side. Houston is flanked wide right. Running back to Duhan and Frederickson. It's Tucker that goes back to pass. Setting up. Throws out to the right flat. And it's caught by Tucker Frederickson to the 45 to the 40. And he's knocked out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. Tucker running it out of bounds to stop the clock at about the 36.
Pat Fisher made the stop, but it was a good comeback block thrown by Rich Houston, who was also downfield. He came back and just took Jack Pardee right out of a play.
It's second and 13 at the 36-yard line. The clock is stopped. It shows 52 seconds remaining here in the first half. The New York Giants would like to get that 7 points. And at this juncture, they're just about within field goal range. Long range, of course. They're trailing 14-3. 52 seconds to go in the first half. The Giants break the huddle. Houston flanks wide out to the right side. McNeil splits wide left. Dick Coates tight right end this time. Frederickson and Duhan, the runners. Back to pass is Tucker on the draw play. It goes to Tucker Frederickson, the pulls off his own left guard and drives down to about the 32-yard line. Picks up 4 yards. And now the Giants call for time with 46 seconds to go in this first half. When play is resumed, it'll be 3rd and 10 at the 32.
Giants open a hole by riding Patios and Brundage out of a play. Hamburger made the stop, but they opened that hole by riding Brundage out of a play. Patios, too, the middle linebacker, was taken out, and it was up to Chris Hamburger to make the stop.
The most poised man on the field, Fran Sarkinen, as he walks slowly over to the far sideline, hands on hips, talking with Alex Webster and Joe Walton, rest of the Giants staff around him at the far sideline. And it must be reported that Sarkinen is throwing as well today as we've seen. He threw one errant pass. Jack Pardee picked that off for the second skin touchdown. You have more scores there, Chip?
Yes, we do, Marty. In the second period, Detroit leading New England 17-0. Also in the second period, Pittsburgh 7, Cincinnati 3. In the second period, Miami now ahead of Buffalo 12-7. At the end of the half, Dallas leads Philadelphia 21-0. Jets to play St. Louis Monday night, of course. Kansas City is at Houston, San Francisco at New Orleans, Chicago at Minnesota, Cleveland at Baltimore, Atlanta at Los Angeles, Denver at Green Bay, and Oakland at San Diego. No scores to report on those games as yet.
Well, the skin defense was being masterminded by George Allen on the near side, and the New York Giants offense by Alex Webster on the far side. It's a 3rd and 10 situation on the 32.
5 defensive backs in there now, Marty, for the Skins. Leslie Duncan, Speedy Duncan goes in place of the middle linebacker, Myron Patio.
3rd and 10 on the Skins 32. Time a factor. 46 seconds to go in the half. Signals being called by Fran Sarkinen. He takes a snap. A 3-man rush. Now 4-man rush. Going way back at Fran Sarkinen. Now he's scrambling. Running along the midfield line. Looking downfield. He scrambles back further. Now he sets and throws. And it is intercepted by the Washington Redskins. Running it up is Pettibone. That's Richie Pettibone, all right, and he's knocked out of bounds at the far side of the midfield line. That's it for the Giants' threat.
How about that Richie Pettibone? A game and a half, he has 4 interceptions. 3 last week, and he picked one off today.
How many did he have last year, Chip?
1 all of last year.
Well, the clock shows 30 seconds remaining here in the first half. It stopped because Pettibone was on the bounds on the far side. A wild scramble that time by Fran Sarkinen. He threw it amongst a whole gang of players.
Did the worst thing possible. Threw it right into a crowd.
Well, it's 1st and 10 now at the 48-yard line. Kilmer goes back to pass, throws out to the left side, and it is caught by Jefferson. They rule it incomplete. They rule he trapped it. Penalty marker is down, too. I think Jefferson must have said something to the official. Personal foul called against Jefferson.
Either Jefferson or Willie Williams.
No, it's Jefferson.
It is Jefferson, yeah. Willie looked a little disgusted. I thought maybe... Well, he's just looking like the offended party right now, Willie is. He and Jefferson were wrestling for the ball, and Marty's right. Jefferson said something he shouldn't have said because the ball goes back 15 yards. At this point, it doesn't make too much difference to the Redskins. They wouldn't like to have gotten into at least field goal range. Well, they have a 14-3 lead that looks comfortable right now. It's not a big lead, and of course, it's far from insurmountable, but the Giants have been just playing badly and playing in bad luck. Darkinen, who has looked so good, has thrown 2 interceptions, both times throwing into a crowd, and both times the Giants were burned by it.
First and 25 at the 33. I see Richie Houston playing defense out there. 3 men up front. Isn't that so, Chip?
Yes, it is. They've made some changes. They've got Reed and Roller in Dreyer along with Lurtzma. So I'm sorry, 3-man line. Reed, Roller, and Dreyer. And they have 5 defensive backs. The McRae, Green, Lockhart, Williams, and Houston. In addition, they have 3 linebackers.
First and 25. The handoff now goes to Haraway. Drives upfield of the 40, the 45 to midfield, and down he is at the 48-yard line of the New York Giants. Picking up some 19 yards as the clock shows 18 seconds remaining and time is called by the Skins.
Steve Athis is also in there. Giants have 6 defensive backs and 2 linebackers. That's what it was. Now they change again. Roller goes out, and Houston goes out, and Athis goes out. As the Giants bring the linebackers back, the 3 linebackers and the 4 defensive backs. There's Files out of there now, so let's see what the alignment is. The problem right now is they're standing directly in front of us. We can't pick up all the numbers. We see Dreyer is in there, Lurtzman is in there, Lakes is in there, and Shea is in there. The linebackers are Heck and Files comes back. He's evidently conferring along the sideline. So it looks like they may have their regular defensive unit in there right now. You see Heck, Douglas, and Files in there, and the 4 defensive backs, McRae, Green, Lockhart, and Williams. So they've gone back to their regular defense. They got burned. They went into that prevent offense. And Marty, you have the theory about the goalposts being set back, and I've had a theory for years that there are more points scored against the prevent defense than it is supposed to allow. They just begin to play loosely, and before you know it, the team is knocking at your front door.
Well, here it is, 3rd and 6 now on the Giants' 48-yard line. The Washington Redskins in possession. The Skins leading the ball game by a score of 14-3. 18 seconds to go in the half. Back to pass now is Kilmer. Kilmer rush, throws out to the left side, and it's caught by Taylor. He's not going to bounce. The penalty marker is thrown down at the spot where Kilmer threw the ball. Penalty marker is down. Don't know what the call is here, and it's against the Washington Redskins. Apparently it's holding. It's been
Roland Lakes, the man who was held. I'm not quite sure of who did the holding, though.
It's been a very inconsistent ball game and a very long first half, by the way. Game started at 5 minutes after 1. Now it's almost 2:30, and this first half will take an hour and a half, which is about 25 minutes longer than it ordinarily takes. That's because it's been as wild as it has been. It started from the opening running play, when Larry Brown threw a punch, and the Skins were assessed 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct.
He thought he was going to set a fire under the Giants. It looks like he set a fire under the Skins, though. The Giant defense, in the interest of good reporting, has not been playing a bad game. One of the touchdowns was scored, of course, on an interception, and they got burned on that long pass play, but other than that, they have contained the Skins pretty well.
3rd and 22 at the 36-yard line as Kilmer rolls out to the right. Throws on the run down to the right side. It's caught by Jefferson. He goes out of bounds at the Giants' 45-yard line.
And the Giants, again, in that very loose zone defense, are allowing the Washington Redskin receivers to get into the cracks, into the seams, and Kilmer is having a good day.
Bernie McRae was closest man on that play, and
he forced the receiver out of bounds. Well, there are 8 seconds remaining now in the half as the play was stop the clock going out of bounds.
4 from 3 at the 45 is a 52-yard field goal attempt by Kurt Knight. 52 yards out. The angle is to the right. Teams are lined up and set. Rocky Thompson deep. The kick is up high and very deep, and it is good. It's good. A 52-yarder by Kurt Knight.
Now you figure it. He missed one from 20 yards out, and he kicked one from 52 yards.
There's timeout on the field with the score. The Washington Redskins 17, the New York Giants 3.
Mobile gasoline gets you where you're going. Mobile gasoline takes you where you want to be.
When a little engine part like an anti-pollution valve gets clogged with dirty deposits, you can expect trouble. Because a dirty anti-pollution valve can make your engine idle rough and stall. But there's something you can do to help prevent this kind of rough idling and stalling. Use Mobile. It contains a detergent that cleans your anti-pollution valve while you drive. Mobile's detergent gasoline. It can help your car's performance.
Mobile gasoline takes you where you want to be. Mobile gasoline.
Well, it's halftime at Yankee Stadium, and the New York Giants have just played as frustrating the first half of football as we've seen. They started off well, had 2 touchdown passes dropped, one by Tucker Frederickson and one by Clifton McNeil, and then suddenly they flattened out, were real lethargic for much of the first half on offense. Defense, as Chip said, played good football, and unusual type plays scored the 2 touchdowns for the Skins on third and very short yardage. They threw a pass to Charlie Taylor that was good for 71 yards and a touchdown. And then Pardee intercepted a Fran Tarkenton pass for their second touchdown. And now a 52-yard field goal, just getting across the crossbar. Nice kick. Not only frustrating. I'm sorry, Marty. Just going to say, it was by Kurt Knight, 52 yards, and as you said, he missed the 20-yarder, 21-yarder it was, and then he kicked the 52-yarder, though it's known for it. Not only frustrating football, but the Giants, they're just not playing good football, too. We said the offense looked pretty good, and it did. Got burned just that one time. They've been playing kind of a loose game, allowing Washington yardage between the 20-yard markers, their 20 and our 20. So it's 14-3. The Giants trailing the Washington Redskins halftime at Yankee Stadium. Stay tuned. We'll be back with the columnist from the New York Post, Gene Roswell, as our halftime guest.
Here's Marty Glickman. And waiting about 4 yards in the end zone, Rocky Thompson. There's the boot, a floater coming down near the 15-yard line of the 10, bounding down, picked up by Bobby Duan up to the 15, to the 20, comes along the left side to the 25, and way up to the 27, 28-yard line on a good run back of a tough rolling kick by Bobby Duhan. Stop made by Brig Owens. He's the free safety along with Bill Malinchek. Malinchek's in on just about every play with special teams. A recently reactivated wide receiver. Giants now trailing, as we said, 17-3. First series of downs for them in the second half. In the huddle right now, here again is Marty. Rocky Thompson is in there at the start of the second half at running back along with Tucker Fredrickson. Brian talking to the quarterback, McNeil. A tight left end now. Houston flank wide to the right. Rocky Thompson takes the handoff, goes off right tackle, tries to swing wide, and he stops with no gain. Penalty marker is down. Right in the middle of the line of scrimmage, the penalty marker is down. Thompson never had a chance to try to get Thompson outside, but the line just floated with him, and the stop was made by Ron McDowell, defensive left end, along with Myron Patios. The Giants were illegally in motion on the play as the penalty marker was thrown, and the likelihood is that the Skins will refuse the penalty. Yes, here it is now. They are refusing the penalty because there was no gain by the New York Giants. Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line. With Thompson in at running back and Tucker Fredrickson the fullback. Houston the flank and McNeil the split end and Dick Kotite the tight end. Bob Tucker has not played at all today at the tight end position or any other for the Giants. To the line of scrimmage now come the New York Giants. 2nd and 10 at the 27. Slot formation to the right side. Peeling off to the left is Rocky Thompson. Dropping straight back is Fran Tarkin and sets up, throws angling to the right. And is caught by McNeil. McNeil up to the 35 along the 40-yard line and pulled down at about the 43-yard line on a pretty run as he button hooked after going about 6 yards downfield. He eluded the man who was covering him by spinning inside of him and then running it up to about the 43-yard line before he was stopped. The man he eluded was Pat Fisher. Motion came to the right, tried to draw the Redskins defense, caught him. The Giants ran the play the opposite way. So it's 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line as the last play picks up 16 yards. Wing T formation. The handoff goes to Rocky Thompson. Cuts off right tackle. Drives upfield on the 44-yard line. Only 1 yard on the play. Trying to get some running room for Thompson. 2 running plays. They haven't succeeded. That time Thompson tried to cut inside. They tried to open the hole between McDowell and Sistrunk. They rolled McDowell out of a play. The Giant offensive line did. But Sistrunk managed to hang in there and got help from Jack Pardee to bring Rocky down. Giants with Greg Lawson at center, Doug Van Horn and Bob Highland are the guards, Willie Young and Charlie Harper are the tackles, Dick Kotite the tight end, Clifton McNeil the split end. Running backs are Rocky Thompson and Tucker Fredrickson, Rich Houston the flanker. McNeil splits wide to the left side, Houston is flanked wide right. It's 2nd and 9 at the 44. The handoff goes to Rocky Thompson. He's spilled back of the line of scrimmage for a loss at the 40-yard line. That was McDowell. McDowell coming in. Van was trying to block McDowell on the right side. The right tackle missed him completely. Harper Marty on the right side? That's right, it's Harper on the right side. Missed him completely, and Thompson never got out of the backfield. So the Giants are in an obvious passing situation right now, and Kotite and Houston, who we used so effectively last week, end of the stadium. That's to our right, to the closed end to our left. So we'll bring you first the Washington Redskins offensive lineup. The wide receivers for the Redskins, and they have perhaps as good a receiving corps as there is in pro football. Number 42, Charlie Taylor from Arizona State, his 8th year. He's 6'3", he weighs 210 pounds. And number 80, Roy Jefferson, in his 7th year. Roy from Utah, 6 so far in the ball game. So Tarkinen has, perhaps because of coverage, I don't know the reason, it might be most likely because of coverage, has not used them at all. Perhaps he will go to Coach idea.
Joe Marsden is in replacing Rocky Thompson in the backfield. It's 3rd and 13 at the 40-yard line. And Marsden fields off to the left. He comes in motion. And it'll be a penalty against the Giants, I believe, delay of game. A 5-yarder. So it'll be 3rd and 18 back at the 35-yard line of the New York Giants. Rocky Thompson taken to the sideline.
Giants needing the extra blocking ability of Joe Marsden. And, of course, the additional experience. And, you know, that's happened, Marty, so often. That delay of game penalty against the Giants in preseason, and it happened last week. Tarkinen is usually not guilty of that.
It's 3rd and 18 at the 35-yard line. Again, Joe Marsden fields off to the left as he comes in motion. Rolling out to the right to pass to Fran Tarkinen. He has a little room back there, but now he throws down to the right, and it's caught. A diving catch made at the 43-yard line, but for short yardage, about 8 yards, not nearly enough for the first down. And the receiver of the pass that time was Dick Totzak once again. Play was good for 9 yards, so it's 4th and 9 at the 44-yard line. Now the Giants break the huddle. Tom Blanchard is into punt. Ted Baxter and Speedy Duncan are the 2 receivers for the Washington Redskins. Blanchard waiting at his own 30, kicking towards the closed end of Yankee Stadium. Gets a high snap to center, moves forward, and boosts that ball. End over end kick, coming over Duncan's head, but he goes back pedal for it, gets it at the 15, runs out to the right to the 20, and he's pulled down to the 21, 22-yard line on a fine tackle.
Ronnie Hornsby, reserve linebacker, making the stop. Duncan just could not outrun him. Duncan was trying to turn the corner at the near sidelines, but Hornsby stayed with him and made the tackle.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line of the Washington Redskins. The Skins leading the ball game by a score of 17-3. The New York Giants picking up 1 first now. First time they had the ball here in the second half, and that's it. Now the Skins come from the line of scrimmage. Bill Kilmer at quarterback. They're running back to Larry Brown and Charlie Haraway. Charlie Taylor split wide to the right side. Roy Jefferson flank left. The handoff goes to Larry Brown. He pulls up his own left guard, drives up to about the 25-yard line, and then he's thrown back, picking up 3 yards.
Jerry Shea making the stop. Giants backed in closely again. Shea and Fred Dreyer at the bottom, trying to wrestle the ball away from Larry Brown. Jim Files also helping out. Giants back in very tightly. Stopped the running play that time.
The Skins have Len House at center, Ray Schenke and John Wilbur the guards, Jim Snowden and Walter Rock the tackles. The tight end is Jerry Smith, the split end Charlie Taylor, the flanker back Roy Jefferson.
And Scott Eaton did not come back, Marty, in the second half.
2nd and 7 at the 25-yard line. Bill Kilmer, quarterback. Jefferson flank wide right this time. Kilmer throws a quick pass out to Jefferson at the right side. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but he drives forward for about 2 yards before he stops at the 27, 28-yard line.
That again was that sideline pass the Skins have been trying to use to get one of the blockers out in front. The blocker that time, Walter Rock, just didn't get out in time. Benny McRae came up along with Lurchma. McRae recovered very quickly to make the stop.
It's 3rd and 5 at the 27. That play was popularized by the Dallas Cowboys and Bobby Hayes, where they throw it quickly out to the right flat, and then Hayes takes it off. They're looking for the same thing from Jefferson. Now it's 3rd and 5 at the 27. The crowd exhorting the New York Giants defense to hold in this 3rd down situation. And Kilmer goes back to pass. Throws hanging to the right side. It's caught by Jefferson. He's got the first down at the 37-yard line. Play is good for 10 yards, but the penalty marker is down.
Once again, the Giants' zone being exploited. They went into a strong side zone that time with Joe Green rolling to the strong side, but they found the crack. Looks like the penalties against the Skins.
Yes, they're going back towards their goal line. Holding in all likelihood. Holding it is. And the Giants, of course, accept the penalty that negates that first down pass of a moment ago.
Comes Henry Reed in there now for some additional strength on the pass rush. The pass rush is something that's been non-existent for the Giants in 2 games, so they've got Reed in. Lurchma should go out. Reed much quicker. Incidentally, we get word now that Scott Eaton is through for the day. He will not be back today. He has a pulled hamstring muscle, so it's Joe Green.
Well, the play began on the 27-yard line, so it'll be half the distance to the goal line, bring it back to the 12 and a half or something like that. Yes.
And here comes Dave Rolla. So they now have Reed and Rolla in on the left side, 2 rookies. Two very quick rookies who looked pretty good in preseason play until the opposing team started trapping them.
It's 3rd and 19 at the 13-yard line. All the Washington Redskins. The Giants looking to pin the Skins in here and get that ball in good field position as the Giants trail the Skins 17-3. These are the opening minutes of the second half. High formation on the backfield, 3rd and 19. A pitch out wide to Larry Brown. He tries to run off right tackle. Drives up to the 17-yard line, and that's all as he somersaulted as a result of a low, hard tackle.
By Ralph Peck, who fought off a block by Walter Rock. Rock was the man who was supposed to take Heck out of it. Rock didn't do his job. Heck got away and made the stop.
So it's 4th and 14 at the 18-yard line, and Mike Bragg comes in now to punt for the Washington Senators. And the New York Giants have the opportunity of getting the ball in decent position. Their twin safeties, Duhan and Lockhart, between their own 40 and 45-yard line. Bragg dropping back to his number 4 to his own 3-4-yard line, swinging his foot to loosen up. He's kicking from the closed end of the stadium out towards center field, waiting to snap to center. Bragg gets it, moves forward, and he boots that ball. It's a pretty kick, a high, quivering spiral. Fair catch called by Duhan, and he's got it at the 37-yard line of the New York Giants. Giants ball, 1st and 10 on their 37. The second time they've had the ball in the second half. The first time they had the ball, they picked up 1 first down. Chip?
Timeout on the field with the score. The Washington Redskins 17, the New York Giants 3. More Giants football right after this message.
If you like riddles, here's one from your American Cancer Society. What takes about an hour, more or less, but could save you many years? The answer, if you haven't figured it out for yourself, is a yearly health checkup. In the years you could save are precious years of your life. Your life. You see, cancer develops in one area of the body. If your doctor is able to discover the disease at this early stage while it's still localized, well, of course, you greatly improve your chances of being completely cured. Get the picture? A checkup can disclose early cancer, and early cancer can often yield to prompt treatment. Prompt treatment can restore good health. So I guess that takes the riddle out of becoming a needless statistic. And by the way, while you're having that thorough examination, if you're over 40, ask your doctor about a procto to detect cancer of the colon and rectum. Remember the slogan, fight cancer with a checkup and a check.
Flying to California? Ask your travel agent about American Airlines 747 luxury liner with its incredibly comfortable lounge-in coach. Or call American.
9:25 to go in this third quarter. France talking under the center. Takes the snap. Rolls out to the right, looking to pass. Fakes the pass, throws down to the side, and it's incomplete. A penalty marker is thrown down. See what the call is going to be here. Ineligible receiver downfield against the Giants. You've got to stay within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage if you're an offensive lineman. And that time, as that play developed, Frank Tarkenton kept going to the sideline, looking and looking and looking. One of the Giant linemen apparently kept moving downfield.
Doug Van Horn, Marty, was unsure as to whether Fran was going to throw or pass, and suddenly he made up his mind that Fran was going to throw or run, I should say. He made up his mind that Fran was going to run, so he went downfield to throw a block, and Fran threw the ball.
And the 15-yard penalty was marked off. Earlier in the ball game, the Skins had one like that assessed against them. Ball is back to the 23-yard line of the New York Giants. So it's 1st and 25 at the 23. Giants a long way from home. It's 17-3. The Skins over the New York Giants with 9:22 remaining now in the third quarter. McNeil splits very wide out to the left side. Houston is flanked wide right. The running backs are Fredrickson and Duhan. Larkin takes the snap, drops straight back, throws over the middle, and it's caught by Coates at the 27, 28-yard line. He's hit immediately and down.
Redskins are in that prevent defense again where they use 2 linebackers, the outside linebackers. They take out Myron Patios, the middle linebacker, and they put in the 5th defensive back. That's Speedy Duncan.
Play was good for 5 yards, making it 2nd and 20 at the 28-yard line. They still look a little bit low and lethargic to you, Chip.
Yes, they do. Owens and Hamburger incidentally made the stop before. Yeah, the Giants are missing something. The ability to catch a football in the first half, but they're, as you say, very flat at this point.
Double wing formation now for the Giants. 1 deep back, Tucker Fredrickson, 2nd and 20 at the 28-yard line, rolling out to the right. It's Tarkenton being rushed hard. Now he gets away from his pursuers, throws on the run down to the side. It's caught by McNeil at the 45. He runs along the sideline and fumbles the ball out of bounds at the 49-yard line. It's good enough for a first down. That may bring the Giants to life.
That was a blitz by Jack Pardee, linebacker on the left side. Nobody picked him up, but Tarkenton managed to elude him by running to the far sidelines, and he finally spotted McNeil, who had gotten free, and hit him with a very pretty pass on the run. He really fired it to Clifton, and Clifton managed to pick up enough for the first down by eluding the man covering him.
21 yards on the play from the 28 to the 49-yard line. They needed 20, and they made the first down. First and 10 at the 49. Important play for New York. Slot formation on the right side. Both wide receivers are right. Running back to Duhon and Frederickson as Tarkenton takes the ball. Hands up to Duhon. It drives off right guard. Goes for 2 yards to the 49 of the Washington Redskins.
They moved the lineman out of there, but the linebacker, Jack Pardee, filled the gap and made the stop. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. So the Giants, again, having trouble trying to score 42 points. They scored against Green Bay. So far in about 20 minutes, they've only scored 3 against Washington. Let's see what happens, Marty.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 49-yard line of the Washington Skins. Is talking to go straight back. Sets up now. Plenty of time. Now he's seeing Russ Todd. Throws to the right side. Caught by Frederickson, who stopped just past the line of scrimmage at about the 47-yard line. He picked up 2 yards on the play. It was a safety valve pass that time. As Tarkenton had time and suddenly found himself rushed as he couldn't find the receiver, rolled out to the right quickly, and threw a short lob pass to Tucker Frederickson, who picked up 2 yards.
That's Pardee covering again on the play. Mike Bass helping out. That Pardee is incredible, Marty. 14 years in the league. He's 36, 37 years old, and he's been all over the field today. I said before the Giants scored only 3 points in about 20 minutes of play. Actually, 35 minutes of play the first half, plus, let's make it 37. 7.5 minutes of this third quarter.
It's 3rd and 6 at the 47. This is an important play for New York. Dropping straight back is Tarkenton setting up. Starts to run, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Tucker Frederickson again. The same sort of a safety valve pattern. He couldn't find his receivers deep, and he tried to hit Tucker Frederickson, and it was incomplete. Thrown a little bit too long.
Big rush put on by the Redskins' Dyron Talbot and by the former New York Jet, Berlin Biggs. Sorry, that's not Biggs. That's number 82. Let's give the credit to Jimmy Jones, who's in there in place of Ron McDowell. Quickly, some other scores. Pittsburgh leading Cincinnati 7-3 at the half. Detroit leading New England 20-7 in the third period. Miami leading Buffalo 19-14 in the third period.
Blanchard back on his own 39, ready to punt the ball. The twin safeties for the Skins. The punt. A quivering spiral, fairly low, coming down at the 12-yard line, taken by Duncan. Duncan dodges 2 men, but dives between them, but he's pinned by them at the 16-yard line of the Skins.
Ronnie Hornsby again, number 67. Also, Wayne Walden, number 2 draft choice of the Giants, in on that play. Walton, a reserve offensive lineman.
So the Skins take over once more. It's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, but before they do, time is taken. There's time out on the field with the score of the Skins 17, the Giants 3.
Hey, Chip, let's take a minute to talk about a performer who's been around for almost 24 years. The one that grinds out the yardage year after year. The one that can work out of a standard chip or out of the optional automatic. You know the one I mean. Sure I do, Marty. I just read the script. You're talking about the Volkswagen Beetle. A little car that never seems to run out of gas. That's right, Chip. With Volkswagen's air-cooled engine, you can't bog down on a cold Sunday in Minnesota or boil over on a hot day in Dallas. In fact, you never have to waste a time out for water. And since the engine's in back, it gives you great traction on a wet field. And if you ever decide to trade it in for cash or another sedan to be named later, the Beetle brings you a great return on your investment. And now here's Chip for the color coverage.
Thanks, Marty. The colors this year are elm green, sapphire blue, Iberian red, Kansas beige, Shantung yellow.
Visit one of your local authorized Volkswagen dealers and see the Volkswagen 411.
Bill Kilmer back to pass, throws deep down to the left side, way downfield for Jefferson. Jefferson has it beyond his reach, but he had eluded Willie Williams. The ball was thrown about 5 yards too long. Had it been more accurate, that's all.
Throwing to a spot, Kilmer was. Williams and Jefferson was running to a spot. Williams had delayed Jefferson just a bit at the line of scrimmage, and that may have been the reason for Roy not getting there in time, or Kilman overthrowing him. Actually, it looked like a spot play. They were going for one particular spot, and Jefferson just couldn't get there. I think Willie did hold him up, though, legally.
2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line of the Washington Redskins. The Skins leading the ball game 17-3. Taylor flanked wide out to the left side. Jefferson split wide right this time. Haraway and Brown, the running backs. Kilmer hands off to Haraway, trying to swing the left side. He's blocked back there, drives upfield, no gain.
That's the play in which he got away from 3 or 4 tacklers in the first half and got himself a first down. This time the Giants just gang tackled, something they should do more of. Roland Lakes was in on it. Spider Lockhart was in on it. John Douglas, the entire right side of the Giants defense, along with free safety Spider making the stop.
They give him a couple of yards on the play after the big pileup unfolds we see, and it's 3rd and 8 at the 18-yard line. Again, here's that key third down play. The Giants looking for possession of that football. 3rd and 8 at the Skins' 18-yard line. Jefferson flank wide right. Taylor split wide left. New York Giants are offside. Back to pass. Kilmer throws, and it's caught by Charlie Taylor at the 40, the 45-yard line, and he's pulled down just short of the 45.
Well, they're going to take the play instead of a penalty. That is, of course, if there were 2 flags down, hold it 3 flags down. Well, maybe they all saw Freddie Dreyer jump offside. That was what the first flag was for.
And the penalties are against the Giants. They refuse the penalty. The Skins do, of course, and Charlie Taylor makes the completion up to the 43-yard line is where the ball is placed down. A big gain, 3rd and 8, and they pick up 25 yards. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
And Kilmer continues to find holes in the Giants' own defense.
To the line of scrimmage now come the Washington Redskins. Taylor splits wide to the left side. Flank wide right is Roy Jefferson. Running backs are Brown and Haraway. The handoff to Brown. Brown trying to circle the end. Makes the turn. 45 up to the 50-yard line along the near sideline. Knocks down to the Giants' 49 as the play picks up 8 yards.
Leading the interference on that play, John Wilbur. He managed to get Bob Lurchma out of there, and then Brown hurdled Benny McRae, but the stop was made by Spider Lockhart. That said, power sweep. And with a runner like Brown, you get any kind of blocking, it's going to go.
Ball placed down at the midfield line, makes it 2nd and 3 as the last play picked up 7 yards for Larry Brown. 2nd and 3 at the 50-yard line. New York Giants trailing the Skins 17-3, and the New York Giants don't seem to be seriously threatening to score with their offense. Jefferson flank wide right, split wide left, Charlie Taylor. Running backs Brown and Haraway. The handoff goes to Charlie Haraway, butts up his own left guard, keeps driving for 2 yards, and he stopped at the 48-yard line.
Jerry Shea is the one who should get the big credit for that stop. He got a hold of a leg and held on for dear life until Roland Lakes, Jim Files, John Douglas all came over to help out.
So it's 3rd and 1 for the Skins on the Giants' 48-yard line. Giants held on a situation like this in the first half on 3rd and 1 when they pulled Larry Brown down for a loss. That time it was Scott Eaton who did it, and Eaton has not played here in the second half because of a hamstring pull in the first half. Mack Olson was in at tight end. This is also the situation where the Skins scored their first touchdown of the ball game, and now the Skins call for timeout because they're mixed up on the play. And did you hear those Skins spotters in the booth alongside of us worrying about that particular play?
I think they were screaming about the very same thing that Kilmer realized, that something either they were lined up. Post Office Box 338, FDR Station, New York, 10022. Once again, Jim Files over to the far sideline to confer with the Giants defensive coach Norv Hecker on what they should do in this 3rd and 1 situation. It seems as though the whole ball game has been a series of 3rd down and 1 for the Washington Redskins. Isn't it, Marty? They've had that 3rd down and short yardage situation so often in this ball game, and Kilmer, we're not sure of the exact percentage, but he has an excellent percentage of converting that 3rd down and 1 into a 1st down and 10.
The only time I recall it being stopped was the reference I made a moment ago to Scott Eaton early in the ball game.
That incidentally is, I believe, the play he was hurt on. He went out right after that. Fine defensive play.
Well, the offense and defense attacked him solidly, except for Charlie Taylor, covered by Willie Williams, wide out to the left side. It's 3rd and 1. The handoff goes to Brown. Circling on the left side, trying to do it. Now he makes the turn. He's got the first down. He drives the field and hurdles high in the air after he's hit and goes down out of bounds at the 37-yard line. The play only picked up 11.
Spider Lockhart was gambling on the play. He burst through, but Brown just ran around him. He's got good speed, good power, and everything a running back should have. Willie Williams made the stop, but Brown gets around that corner as well as anybody. He's out for a breather now.
Tommy Mason comes into the lineup, replacing him at halfback. Tommy Mason, the 11-year veteran, played collegiate football a long time ago at Tulane. Played great years with the Minnesota Vikings. First and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to pass. Kilmer throws out to the left side. Caught by Taylor at the 32. He dodges for a moment and is forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Taylor just running that quick down and out. Got in front of Willie Williams. Willie slipped just momentarily as he tried to recover and come in, but he managed to force Charlie out of bounds. Again, the Giants continue to play that zone defense, and Kilmer is like a surgeon. He's just chopping it up little by little.
Charlie Taylor is so tough to handle. He's 6'3" and 210 pounds, and of course he's very fast, but with that he is very shifty. Having been a fine running halfback, as we mentioned earlier. Back to pass again as Kilmer throws out to the right side, and it's caught by Jerry Smith, who sits down at the 24-yard line. The play picks up some 7 yards. Joe Green covering. That time he was rolling to the strong side, Green. It was his territory. Smith made the reception, and Green made the stop. I misread the yard marker that time. It was not the 24, it was the 29-yard line. It's 3rd and 2 at the 29 of the New York Giants. Another key play right here. 3rd and 2 at the 29. The Skins go to the line of scrimmage. They're leading 17-3 with 3:45 to go in the third quarter. Jefferson flank wide right. Split left is Charlie Taylor. 3rd and 2. Back to pass. A short lob pass to Smith. Smith makes the catch at the 22-yard line and steps out of bounds as the play is good for 7 yards and another first down.
I said before, the Giant pass rush is nothing to talk about, but Kilmer isn't even giving the Giants a chance to rush. He's just popping them with these quick, short passes, and he's eating up the yardage, moving inexorably down the field.
Inexorably? I remember him. He was a shortstop. It's 1st and 10 at the 22. Larry Brown is back in at halfback, replacing Tommy Mason. The running backs, Charlie Haraway and Larry Brown, as they have been most of the ball game. Taylor is flanked wide right. A pitch out wide to Larry Brown, trying to circle the left side. He's being forced back there and stopped at the 20-yard line on a beautifully low angling tackle.
Spider Lockhart making that beautiful low angling tackle. Oh, it's Joe Green. I'm sorry, Joe Green. I just caught the 3. Spider 43, Joe Green 33. And chasing from behind was Jim Files.
The play picks up 2 yards, makes it 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line. Tommy Mason is back in, but this time he replaces Charlie Haraway. So the running backs are Brown and Mason, 2 very fine pass-catching halfbacks. And Charlie Taylor, Jerry Smith, and Roy Jefferson. Quite a quintet out there of pass receivers. 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line. The Giants are offside. Jerry Shea, illegal procedure called against the Skins.
Shea wasn't just going. Shea saw the motion, and he just belted across the line of scrimmage. He made sure no one was going to miss it.
So it's 2nd and 13 at the 25-yard line. Illegal procedure. There was movement in there on the line by the Washington Redskins.
Giants at that time moved into their zone, into a strong side zone. Joe Green coming over to the strong side. He's the key, of course, in the zone defense. Joe playing strong safety in place of Scott Eaton, who was injured and is through for the afternoon with a pulled hamstring.
It's 2nd and 13 at the 25 of the New York Giants. Passing situation, of course. Kilmer calling the defense, calling the signals. Goes back to pass, setting up now. And throwing deep to the end zone, too high, intended for Roy Jefferson, incomplete in the end zone.
Jefferson had his man beaten, his man being Joe Green. But the pass was overthrown, considerably overthrown.
Again, Charlie Haraway comes back into the lineup, replacing Tom Mason. Haraway, 6'2", 215 pounds. Larry Brown, 5'11", 195.
Really excellent protection, Marty, that the offensive line is providing Kilmer. Giants aren't getting close to him. Here's Henry Reed now in place of Bob Lurtzman at defensive left end. The Giants try to mount something more of a pass rush. Reed, one of the quickest of the Giant linemen.
It's 3rd and 13 at the 25. Giants are trailing 17-3. Kilmer back, sets up, throws down the middle deep. Incomplete. Intended for Jefferson again, and it's incomplete at the 2-yard line.
That time, McRae covering him well all the way. McRae was step to step with Jefferson. They both went for the ball, but the ball was overthrown. Good rush. One of the Giant linebackers, I think it was perhaps Files, it may have been Douglas, was blitzing on the play, and didn't get to Kilmer, but forced him to throw it prematurely.
Well, a field goal situation now. 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the third quarter. 4th and 13 at the 25-yard line. Kurt Knight will try it from 32 yards out. The angle is to the right. Ball is kicked up high enough and deep enough, and it is good.
So there's time out on the field with the score. The Washington Redskins 20, the New York Giants 3.
I love lime. In fact, the only drink I drink is a lime Ricky. I adore lime sherbet. And if anyone steals the limelight away from me, then I really get green. But you know what I love most of all? Men who wear English leather lime aftershave or cologne. Of course, all my men wear English leather. But the ones who really know me wear English leather lime. They know the way to this girl's heart is through her nose.
Hello, this is Kyle Rote. If you want to hear what the N people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants and Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Rote, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
Well, Rocky Thompson ran the kickoff back to the 26-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for the New York Giants on the 26 of the Giants. The Giants are trailing in the ball game 20-3. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remain in this third quarter. Duhan and Frederickson, the running backs. Fran Tarkinen is at quarterback. He rolls out to the right, sprinting out there, looking to pass. Starts to throw, stops. Now he throws at the side, and it's caught by McNeil, but caught out of bounds, I believe. Yes, it was caught out of bounds, and it's an incomplete pass. Well, in all honesty, that play just didn't look as though it was going to work from the moment they began to run it, Marty. It was a play-action pass to the right side, but there were no receivers free downfield. McNeil had run his pattern and stopped, but he'd been standing there too long by the time the play was run to the right side, so the defensive back had more than enough time to recover. Well, it's 2nd and 10 at the 26 of the New York Giants. 2 minutes and 5 seconds remain here in this third quarter. McNeil splits wide out to the left side. Houston is flanked wide right. Signals are being called by Tarkin. Hands up to Bobby Duhan, who fights his way to the line of scrimmage, and that's all off his own right guard. Manny Sistrunk and Ron McDowell made the stop. Bob Hyland came up shouting. He was evidently felt he was being some sort of an infraction against him. Came up shouting at one of the officials. And the Washington Redskins go into that prevent defense in which they take out the middle linebacker, as we told you, Myron Patios, and they put in the 5th defensive back, Speedy Duncan, and also those two quicker defensive left side men, Jimmy Jones and Bill Brundage, on the left side of the line. 1 yard loss on the last play makes it 3rd and 11 of the 25. Talking to go straight back to pass, being rushed very hard near his own 5-yard line, and down he goes at the 2-yard line. But his forward progress or his backward progress was stopped at the 8-yard line. That's where he was first hit. Tarkinen is fighting with one of the big Washington Redskins. There's a big melee down there. There are maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 players involved in a big scramble around the 5-yard line near the open end of Yankee Stadium. Players are brushed out. They've stopped the fighting and scrambling now. Jimmy Jones, who made the stop, he's the man who was brought in. He dragged Tarkinen down on the 2-yard line. As you said, actually, Jones was trying to drag him behind the goal line. And when he got up, it looked as though Jones just patted Tarkinen on the back side. And Fran misread the pat on the backside, and he hit Jones with a football. And Jones turned around and went after him. There's a flag down, and we'll see who they're going to blame for this one. That's the third fight we've had in this ball game so far. But it looked to me as though Jones just was patting him on the backside. Fran, in sheer frustration, just got up and hit him in the back of the head with a football. And then Jones turned around, and it was a mismatch. Well, you want to pick on somebody, you don't pick on a Jimmy Jones who's 6'5" and weighs 230 pounds.
Why not? Why not?
Who said that? All right. I don't pick on a Jimmy Jones. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against the New York Giants brings the ball from the 8-yard line to the 4-yard line. So it's 4th down, and I make it 10, 20, 35. 4th and 35. And Blanchard is a step inside of his own end line, deep in his own end zone. Gets the snap from center and boosts that ball. Gets a beauty out to midfield and back to the 46-yard line of the Skins. Taken there by Baxter. Baxter starts to his right. Penalty marker on the play. Baxter coming to the near sideline, still on his feet. The 35, the 30, the 20, and 25-yard line is there where he's knocked down, but the penalty marker is down, way back at about the 42-yard line of the Giants. And that usually means clipping in the open field. Yes, the Skins are going back out that way.
And it is a personal foul clipping called against the Skins from the 43-yard line of the Giants. So it'll bring it back to Skins territory and nullify that fine run back by Ted Baxter.
Fine kick. He kicked that ball 50. He kicked it about 60 yards in the air, Blanchard did. And that's been the only bright spot in the entire ball game for the Giants, the kicking of Tom Blanchard. Everything else has been a total bust.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Washington Redskins. The Giants are trailing the ball game by a score of 20-3. 64 seconds to go in this third quarter. Bill Kilmer under the center, calling signals. Takes the snap. Rolls out to the right to pass. Setting up with plenty of time. Throws to the right. And it's caught by Jefferson at the Giants' 44, and he's downed immediately.
Ralph Heck made the stop, and once again, Kilmer looks like he has a blueprint of the Giants' defensive secondary, the zone defense they put up, and he just sends his receivers out to those seams or cracks, as they describe them, in the zone. It's a defense that's designed to take away the long pass, but what Bill Kilmer is doing with the short pass.
Another thing that Kilmer has is time. Lots of time back there. First and 10 at the 44-yard line. Kilmer in a regular pro set, flanking to the right side, split left end. Drops straight back to pass, setting up, throws to the right side again. Caught again by Jefferson at the 25. Short of the 25-yard line, he's knocked out of bounds at about the 26.
Very same pass play, the very same spot between the linebacker on the strong side, Ralph Heck, and the cornerback, Bernie McRae. McRae forced him out of bounds, but Kilmer's right now just picking them apart with those short passes.
Play was good for 17 yards. Another first down. Ball put down to the 27-yard line. First and 10 at the 27. The Skins driving towards the open end of Yankee Stadium. They lead in the ball game 20-3. 17 seconds to go in this third quarter. A quick sideline pass again at Jefferson. He starts downfield, goes knocked out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. The clock keeps running. Play was good for 5 yards.
And Bernie McRae, who's getting a lot of tackling experience today, again makes the stop.
Here comes the gun. There it is.
That's the end of the third quarter now with the score. Washington Redskins 20, the New York Giants 3. More Giants football right after this message.
Victor Borga tells why he gives in the fight against MS, multiple sclerosis.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have often spoken humorously about my relatives and their inventions. There was this uncle of mine, a great scientist, who invented a cure for which there was no disease. Unfortunately, in the harsh realities of the world, there are diseases for which there are no cures. One is multiple sclerosis, the great crippler of young adults. Can you imagine how dreadful it must be if you can't see or talk, perhaps even move? Bizarre symptoms that come and go. There is no cure for multiple sclerosis, but there is hope through research sponsored by the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. $1, maybe 5 or 10 from each of us could help discover that cure. When the multiple sclerosis volunteer calls on you, I hope you will remember this.
So the New York Giants have made a defensive change. Chip Sapolo along with Marty Glickman back at Yankee Stadium in New York. The Giants trailing in the ball game 20-3. We have Pete Athers now playing the left cornerback spot in place of Bernie McRae. Athers playing cornerback for the first time.
Second and 4 at the 21-yard line. He's covering. Roy Jefferson has had so many receptions today. Kilmer back to pass, setting up. Fakes short, throws down the middle, deep to Taylor for a touch. He got the ball in the end zone. I started to say touchdown. Taylor went downfield, faked to the outside, cut back to the inside, caught the pass all along at the goal line. Oh, I thought he caught it, and he did. He thought so himself, except he dropped it. It was about knee-high, not too tough a catch. And all alone, he just dropped the ball in the end zone. A penalty marker was down as well.
It's kind of a delayed post pattern that he ran on Willie Williams, and he had Willie completely out of position.
Penalty is called against the New York Giants, I believe. Yes, it is. It'll give the Skins another first down, deep in Giant territory.
I think Joe Green did something he wasn't supposed to do, Marty.
Like what?
Like interfere?
Oh. Let's see what it is now. The ball is being brought down to the 11-yard line. And we wait for the signal from the official. A personal foul called against the Giants. That's all. Personal foul against the Giants. First and 10 at the 11-yard line. And you know, the Skins seem so confident Charlie Taylor was hardly upset when he dumped that pass at the goal line. 1st and 10 at the 11. Taylor split wide to the right side now. Handoff goes to Haraway. Haraway on a power sweep drive, cuts outfield on the 5-yard line, goes down to the 3-yard line where he stopped at the 3. Picks up 8 yards.
Three Giants had shots in at the line of scrimmage. Heck, Lurtzman, and Jim Files.
It's 2nd and 2 at the 3-yard line. 2 yards to go for a first down, 3 yards to go for a touchdown.
Spider Lockhart made the final stop on it, but the play was destroyed at the line of scrimmage. It was not destroyed at the line of scrimmage, and it went for, instead of no gain, a pickup of 7 or 8 yards.
Well, it's 2nd and 2 at the 3-yard line. Mac Austin comes in at end, replacing Roy Jefferson. Means there's 2 tight ends in there now, Jerry Smith and Mac Austin. The wing T formation. On the wing is Charlie Taylor. The rest of the ball club is tight. The Giant defense packed and solidly. Kilman takes it. Gives to Haraway. Drives up his own left guard. Gets down to about the 1-yard line. All to 2. It's just inside the 2-yard line. And they'll be shy of a first down on the goal line. Shy of a first down by a yard. Shy of the goal by 2.
It's Joe Green making a stop. He came under the play. The Giants have 6 defensive linemen in there right now. They've got Lakes, they've got Dreyer, they've got Kanicki, they've got Reed, Shea, and Bob Lurtzman.
It's 3rd and 1 at the 2-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants trailing 20-3. Kilmer under the center. Takes it. Gives to Brown. Brown is stopped at the 1-yard line, but he may have the first down.
That'll be very close. Jerry Shea making the stop. We also see Ron Hornsby's in there, too. They don't have many pass defenders in there right now, the Giants, needless to say. They got a lot of men they consider to be the best tacklers.
Well, they got 4th and about 2 feet to go for a first down, and 4th and about 2 yards to go for a touchdown. Tommy Mason comes in, replacing Larry Brown. 4th and a couple of feet for a first down at the New York Giants 1.5-yard line. They're right underneath the crossbar. Kilmer calling signals, closed into the stadium, takes it, goes back to pass. Close to the right corner, and it's almost intercepted. Almost intercepted by Jim Files. He'd have gone a long way with the penalty markers are down all over the place.
Oh, he had a clear field ahead of him. Beautiful coverage nonetheless by Files, but he had a clear field ahead of him. And if that penalty is not against the Giants, it was one whale of a goal line stand. But let's see now. Looks like it's against the Giants.
It is half the distance of the goal line.
That's enough for the first down.
Now we wait the call now, probably pass interference. It is holding. It's called against the Giants. They were holding the pass receiver in. And it's 1st and goal to go on the 1-foot line. 1st and goal on the 1 foot, directly underneath the crossbar at the close end of Yankee Stadium. The Skins leading in the ball game 20-3, and when they score it, they'll put this ball game out of reach, despite what happened last year.
If they score, Marty, if they score.
1st and goal on the 1 chip. Kilmer takes it and gives over to Haraway, stops short of the goal line. Haraway tried to lunge over, but he was held upright by the Giant defense.
That's Ron Hornsby, and Hornsby did not realize that they had a first down. They made the stop, and Hornsby started going off the field. He still thought it was 4th down. Good defensive play by Hornsby.
It's 2nd and goal to go, still a foot from the goal. Bill Kilmer, number 17. 10-year veteran running the ball club in place of Sonny Jurgensen, who won't be ready yet for at least 5 weeks more.
And they haven't missed him one bit today. The Skins haven't.
2nd and goal to go, a foot away. Signal's being called by Kilmer. Takes it, goes back to pass. Throws over the middle. Touchdown to Charlie Taylor.
Taylor holds his arms aloft. He held on to this one, and he's very happy. Almost an impossible pass to defend against. That post pattern, he ran it on feet at this. There's no way you can stand up to defend against that pass. That's almost no way anyway. Very quick pitch right over the middle. Taylor went in right under the goal line.
Under the goal line?
Under the goal post. I'm sorry.
Boy, he really submarined, didn't he?
Under the goal line.
Well, what else can you do at this juncture but tell funny stories and try to? 26-3, the Skins lead. Officials time for just a moment. 12 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the ball game. Illegal procedure called against the Washington Redskins. I don't know what the illegal procedure is, but it is illegal, whatever it is. And the Giants are discussing whether or not to accept the penalty, a 5-yard penalty.
No, they shouldn't do that. Knight has shown that he's much more effective from a distance than he is up close. Oh, well.
Richie Pettibone will hold. Kurt Knight will try it from the 15-yard line. Straight away. The ball is snapped, placed down and kicked, and it is good. It's good. There's Tyler on the field with a score. The Skins 27, the Giants 3.
Mobile gasoline gets you where you're going. Mobile gasoline takes you where you want to be.
If you haven't been using a good detergent gasoline like Mobil, there is a possibility that your car is suffering from a dirty carburetor, PCV valve, or oil screen. Well, as soon as you start using Mobil detergent gasoline, you're on your way to cleaning up these vital engine parts. When it comes to important things like mileage and power and all-around smooth operation, you can count on Mobil. So use Mobil detergent gasoline. It can help your car's performance.
Mobile gasoline takes you where you want to be. Where you want to be.
This is Chip Sabota along with Marty Glickman back in Yankee Stadium. The Giants trailing in the ball game 27-3. Other scores: Miami 26, Buffalo 14 in the fourth period. Cleveland leads Baltimore 7-3 at the end of the half. San Francisco 14, New Orleans nothing in the second period.
Here's Kurt Knight's kickoff, high and taken at the 6-yard line, taken by Rocky Thompson. He runs up along the left side to the 30, and he's upended at the 30-yard line on a high tackle about the 31. We may see Randy Johnson coming out on the field here.
That was Harold McClinton, number 53, a reserve linebacker who almost took his head off with a necktie tackle. Also, Bob Grant in on the play. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
American Airlines has the only non-stop service to Chicago. Choose the time of day you want to leave and enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner with us. Call your travel agent or American. WGY, Schenectady, New York.
Who's in now to lead the Giants? Marty?
A rangy 6'3", Randy Johnson, acquired from Atlanta, slot formation to the right side. Johnson takes the snap, hands up to Duhon, drives off left tackle, goes upfield for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards before he stopped. Up to the 40-yard line.
Tough running by Bobby Duhon. Had his legs moving. They're trying to ride him down. They being led by Brig Owen for free safety. And some help from Manny Sistrunk. But Bobby running very hard, picked up good yardage. Richie Pettibone is also in.
Picked up 8 yards on the play from the 31 to the 39-yard line. Makes it 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line of the New York Giants. Randy Johnson in for Fran Tarkinen with 11 and a half minutes to go in the ball game, with the Giants trailing the Skins 27-3. Johnson saw a good deal of service in his early years with Atlanta. Hands off now to Duhon. Duhon spins up to about the first down.
I think it may have been Tucker. Tucker, yeah. Came close to the first down and got it. Chris Hamburger making the stop on that particular play.
Well,
yes. I was just going to say the Redskins playing a 5-6-man line. They've got a 24-point lead, and they've only got 11 minutes to go to hold the Giants off. And the Giants, obviously, they're going into a running game. They need 3 touchdowns. They need 3. They need 4 touchdowns.
Well, Randy Johnson, under the center, has a slot formation to the right side. Takes the snap, just back the pass, throws out to the right side. It's blocked and almost intercepted by a great big defensive tackle around.
Ron McDowell, the defensive left end, 6'4", 265-pounder from Nebraska. One of the fine defensive football players that George Allen picked up via the trade route this winter. He picked up, 3 of his first 4 starters in the defensive line: McDowell, Byron Talbot, and Verlin Biggs. The only one who was here last year is Manny Sistrunk.
It's 2nd and 10 for the Giants on their 41-yard line. The New York Giants are trailing the Washington Redskins by a score of 27-3. 10:48 to go in the ball game. Double wing formation for New York. Man in motion to the right side is Duhon. Fredrickson, the lone deep back. Johnson goes straight back to pass, setting up and throwing deep, way down the left side, way downfield, incomplete. Overthrowing Clifton McNeil, for whom it was intended, but he was well covered.
Very well covered by Mike Bass. He never got behind Bass. Bass was actually closer to the ball than McNeil was. Well, Johnson shows he can throw the ball. He tossed that one 50 yards in the air without half trying. Threw it too far. That's the Giant offense so far under Johnson, and he's only been in for 3 or 4 plays. Continues to look kind of lethargic.
It's 3rd and 10 at the 41-yard line of the New York Giants.
Saying kind of lethargic, very lethargic is really an apt description. 5 defensive backs in for the Washington Redskins again.
And the running backs for the Giants are Fredrickson and Juhan. Passing situation here, 3rd and 10 at the 41. The 4-man rush going back to pass. Is Johnson being rushed hard now. Fumbles the ball. It's loose, rolling free. And it's recovered by the New York Giants.
Just like Bob Hyland. Yes, it is Bob Hyland who fell on the ball. Darren Talbert broke through the pass pocket, and he chased Johnson out of it. Johnson was running to the far sidelines as the Giants now forced into a punting situation. Tom Blanchard, we said earlier, the only bright spot offensively the Giants have had today. He's brought back some of that old-fashioned punting the Giants used to get from the fellow that used to kick the field goals too, the old Texan.
It's 4th and 18 at the 33-yard line.
Don Chandler, of course.
High kick by... And Duncan gets the ball at the 25-yard line. Pulls away from one tackle. He's out in the cliff. At the moment, cuts back up to the 35 and down to the 39-yard line.
What a beautiful bit of running by Duncan. There was a solid wall of Giant defenders on the far side of the field. They converged on him. He managed to somehow spin away, and he had suddenly found a lot of running room along the middle of the field on the near sidelines, and then just tripped up himself. Bob Hyland was closest man to him, but actually he tripped on about the 35, 37, and fell forward. Timeout on the field with the score of the Washington Redskins 47, the New York Giants 3. More Giants football right after this message.
Wouldn't it be nice to live in rural America? Hi, I'm Ken Berry. Today, we could create job opportunities. That is, if together we cooperate and support independent business in rural America. Business that is already there. Business that could move there from the overcrowded cities. It would mean jobs for people in a better environment. Make it possible. You'll be helping yourself, too. Join Operation Build America. For information, write National Federation of Independent Business, Washington Building, Washington, D.C. That's NFIB, Washington Building, Washington, D.C.
With 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line, the Skins' first play. Tommy Mason takes it off right tackle. He drives up from the 39 to the 44-yard line, picking up 5 yards, makes it 2nd and 5 at the 44.
Giants have made a change, Marty, that may be a harbinger of things to come. They have Jim Files playing the strong side linebacker and the rookie Ron Hornsby playing middle linebacker, and this is what Norm Hecker has told me he eventually wants to do.
It's 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line of the Washington Redskins. The Giants are trailing Washington by a score of 27-3. 9:14 to go in the ballgame. Tommy Mason takes it off left tackle again and tries up to about the 47-yard line, picking up 3 yards.
He ran right into Jim Kinnicky, pushed Kinnicky back about a yard or two, and then Kinnicky came right back and brought him down. And the Giants are playing the rookies, Reed and Rote on the left side. They've got Kinnicky and Dreyer on the right side, and as we told you, they've got Files at the left linebacker position, Ron Hornsby in the middle, John Douglas on the weak side. Pete Aptis is playing cornerback. Joe Green is playing strong side safety. Green's playing that position because Scott Eaton was hurt, and Lockhart and Williams. So the Giants of the future, maybe the Giants who are in there right now.
It's 3rd and 2 at the 47 of the Washington Redskins. Taylor flanks wide out to the right side. The rest of the ball club is tight. 3rd and short yardage. Rolling out to the left, Kilmer looks to pass, being rushed hard, and he's thrown for a big loss.
Kinnicky and a blitzing Ron Hornsby from the middle. Also Fred Dreyer. Dreyer came in and forced him out of a pocket, and Hornsby and Kinnicky just burst through to throw him. And, well, if nothing else, they finally got to the quarterback, and the rookies look pretty good, Marty. Of course, the game is out of reach, and I'm sure that the Redskins have let up a little bit. But that particular series of downs, the Giants looked very sharp defensively.
It was a 6-yard loss, makes it 4th and 8 at the 41. Mike Bragg goes in a punt now for the Skins, standing on his own 26.
And Hornsby and Kanicki just burst through to throw them. And, well, if nothing else, they finally got to the quarterback. And the rookies look pretty good, Marty. Of course, the game is out of reach, and I'm sure the Redskins have let up a little bit. But that particular series of downs, the Giants looked very sharp defensively. It was a 6-yard loss, makes it 4th and 8 at the 41. Mike Bragg goes in a punt now for the Skins, standing on his own 26-yard line. Lockhart and Duhan, the twin safeties for the Giants at their 20. Bragg kicking into the closed end of Yankee Stadium. He gets the snap and center, moves forward. Boots that ball. It's a twisting end-over-end kick. Fair catch called by Duhan at the 25-yard line. He makes the catch falling forward at the 25. Well, Bobby made the fair catch. He signaled for the fair catch. Almost misjudged it. He had to suddenly lunge forward to catch the ball, which he did. Just shy of the 25. Let's see where they put it down. Put it down just between the 24 and 25. Punt very well covered. Timeout on the field with the score. The Washington Redskins 27 and the New York Giants 3.
Hey, Fred, I'm tired of flying around. Let's rest up one of these cars.
Okay, Louie. How about this one?
Gee, so big, I might get lost.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
I don't know.
Hey, look here on the back. It says VW411. Maybe it's a Volkswagen.
Nah, this car's too big. Besides, it's got 4 doors.
Louie, it says VW on the hubcaps. It's gotta be a Volkswagen. Let's fly in.
Wow, it's big in here. I can't even see back to the rear window. We might get lost.
Don't worry. I'll check out the back seat.
Oh, better not, Fred. It's too far away. You'll get lost.
I'll be careful, Louie. Don't worry.
Catch this. An automatic transmission. Must come with this, baby. I better tell Fred. Hey, Fred. Fred. Where are you, Fred?
Fred?
Visit one of your local authorized Volkswagen dealers and see the Volkswagen 411. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. A pitch out to Bobby Duhan. Is fumbled. He dives back for it and falls on the ball for a loss. Back at the 19-yard line. A 6-yard loss as he fumbled the pitch out. Was a little bit behind him. Matty Sistrunk covering on that particular play, and this sometimes happens. Got a new quarterback in there, Randy Johnson, playing in place of Fran Tarkinen. And they're not as used to working with each other as, of course, Tarkinen and Duhan are. That ball was thrown just slightly behind him, and Bobby couldn't handle it. It's 2nd and 16 at the 19-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants trail the Skins 27-3. The ball game is out of reach of New York with 7:15 to go. Fumble again loose, recovered by Bobby Duhan, I believe, as he took the handoff, bobbled the ball for a moment or two, held on as he drove across the 20 to the 21-yard line, picks up 2 yards. Managed to regain the handle before he was smothered by the Washington Redskins, led by Myron Patios. He was following a block by his brother-in-law, Tucker Frederickson. Frederickson just had too many people to block, though. The entire center of the Washington Redskins converged, and Bobby went nowhere. It's 3rd and 14 at the 21 of the New York Giants. Obvious passing situation here. 3rd and 14 on their 21. The Giants trailing 27-3. Clock shows 6:40 to go in the ballgame. Frederickson and Duhan, running backs. Signals being called. Johnson rolls out to the left, looking to pass. Sets up now. Throws, angling to the left. And it's short. Intended for Rich Houston. It's short and falls incomplete at the 40-yard line. Houston had the angle and was clear, but the ball didn't reach him. Yes, he was, and he had the first down, too. Hamburger was blitzing on that particular play, but Tucker picked him up. Frederickson did. Kept him out of there. Johnson had enough time to throw. He just underthrew his receiver, Houston. That's only the 2nd time today, I think, Marty, that Houston has been thrown to. Richie, who gained 150 yards, scored 3 touchdowns last week. The Giant offense this week looks like preseason revisited. This is the kind of an offense they showed during the preseason play. Tom Blanchett ready to punt the ball from the 10-yard line. Boots it away. A high twisting kick coming down at the 35 of the Skins. A good block thrown. Back to trying to swing wide. Cuts away from one man, and he's down at the 40-yard line. Driving to his right, stopping, and then going straight up the field for about 3-4 yards before he was down at the 40-yard line of the Skins. That was Bobby Duhan, who got down there almost with the ball, but he was ridden right out of the play. Ralph Hecht made the stop. May have been a penalty on the last play as well. Another clipping infraction called against the Skins, I believe. Penalty marker is down at the 38-yard line, and they're marking off 15 against the Skins. They had to rid him out of the play. Obviously did it illegally with a clip. You know, there's some confusion sometimes on these kickoffs. They throw I understand, a gravel-filled bag down to mark the spot where the ball is received, and sometimes if the yellow flag doesn't open up fully, you can't pick up the marker that's been dropped. It's a bean bag. Yeah, you remember bean bags. They use gravel now, though, I hear. Pass down to the right side. A beautiful catch made at the far side. And down at the 45-yard line of the Skins
The man who made the catch is Jerry Smith on a sideline and down pattern. Pass thrown on the run by Bill Kilmer. He caught it low, diving for the ball, and came up with the ball at his own 45-yard line to play good for 22 yards and a first down.
Pete Athos defending on the play, and Smith just turned Athos around. Athos is now getting his baptismal fire as a cornerback. Smith turned him around, and Pete was trying desperately to recover. He did, but not until the pass had been completed.
Here's another old pro in the lineup. Boyd Dowler is in there replacing Charlie Taylor. Boyd Dowler played so many years for the Green Bay Packers. The handoff goes to Tom Mason, driving off his own right guard. He smashes off his own tackle now, going wide, drives upfield, loose ball, fumble, and it may be recovered by the Giants. Wait a second there. The Packers, here I go. The Skins are pointing one way and the Giants are pointing another, and it's still Skins ball.
And the officials point the same way the Skins are pointing, so Washington wins. Spider Lockhart was among the defensive men who made the stop on that. We were watching Ronnie Hornsby key at middle linebacker. He again was trying to break through and break up the play before it got started, but somebody picked him up. Interesting experiment we told you the Giants are now conducting. Not an experiment, something they want to do eventually. They've got Hornsby at middle linebacker and Files playing the outside.
It's 2nd and 2 for the Skins on the Giants' 47-yard line. Bill Kilmer played a good game at quarterback. It's still in there now for the Skins. Takes the snap, gives up to Mason again. He's trying to find a hole, but he stops at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
And it was Hornsby stacking up the play, Marty. He stripped him of his interference and just stacked it up.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 at the 47-yard line. Boy, they got some old pros out there. Here's Boyd Dowler coming to the sideline now, replaced by Mac Alston. Dowler, who played some 11 years with the Green Bay Packers, and Tommy Mason, an 11-year veteran, played many of those years with the Minnesota Vikings, one of the finest running backs in the league. Also played out at UCLA. Tommy Mason
was the very first draft choice, Mason was, of the Minnesota Vikings, ever.
Well, now it's 3rd and 2 at the 47. Signal's being called by Bill Kilmer. Goes back to pass, throws over the middle. Line is caught by Jefferson. Jefferson is spilled at the 33-yard line of the New York Giants. He's got the first down and more. The play picks up 14 yards.
Again, the post pattern. They beat the Giants' zone defense and another first down.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants are trailing in the ball game by a score of 27-3. And now Chip Sapola begins to make his way down to the New York Giant locker room, along with thousands of other Giant fans who are making their way out of Yankee Stadium because the issue is no longer in doubt. 1st and 10 for the Skins. Kilmer back to pass, throws over the middle again, this time to Boyd Dowler. Dowler drives inside the 25 to the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Willie Williams makes the tackle at the 17. Boyd Dowler from the left flanker back position, just angling over the middle, making the catch of a short pass and driving straight upfield to the New York Giants 17-yard line. Is good for another first down as they picked up 16 yards on the play. So it's 1st and 10 at the 17 of the New York Giants. The Giants are trailing in the ball game 27-3, and the Skins are driving for yet another score. 2:50 to go in the game. Kilmer under the center now, calling signals. Rolls out to the right to pass, sets up, looking for the end zone, throws to the goal line, deflected at the last moment, and knocked away, incomplete. Joe Green knocked it away at the last moment. Pete Athos also in defending on the intended receiver that time, Jefferson. So it's 2nd and 10 at the 17-yard line. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this football game. The Skins are out in front by a score of 27-3. A penalty marker was thrown down as the play got started. I didn't see it until just now. Penalty apparently is against the Giants. They're facing towards the Giants' goal line. And it's going to be exacted against New York. Half the distance. From the 17-yard line to the 8.5-yard line. Call it the 8-yard line. And the penalty is for personal foul, roughing the passer. So it's 1st and goal to go at the 8-yard line of the New York Giants. The Skins are leading the ball game 27-3. And the stands here at Yankee Stadium are about only 1/3 filled now, as much of the crowd is beginning to leave. There's a light rain falling, too, to add to the general discomfiture. 1st and goal to go at the 8. Bill Kilmer under the center. Straight back to pass. Throws quickly into the end zone of the left corner, and it's a little too high for Roy Jefferson. Jefferson ran a rather unusual pattern, a quick square out, and then suddenly he turned and cut back, angling downfield again. The pass was thrown too long in the end zone for Jefferson on a set pattern run by Jefferson. Very tough to cover on that one. Athos was doing the defending, but the pass was overthrown. So it's 2nd and goal to go at the 8-yard line. There are 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in this game. Alston has come into the lineup, replacing Jerry Smith at end. Jefferson flanks wide to the right side. Boyd Dowler, the split left end. 2nd and goal on the 8.
Handoff goes to Mason, trying to swing wide. He's pulled down. Looks like Hornsby again. It was Ron Hornsby. Makes a fine play. Back of the line of scrimmage, a 3-yard loss back to the 11-yard line. Hornsby is very, very quick. It's third and goal to go on the 11-yard line of the New York Giants. Bill Kilmer has done an outstanding job against the Giant defense today, picking it apart mostly on passes of between 8 and 18 yards. And now at the 2-minute mark, time is out. So there's time out on the field with the score. The Redskins 27, the New York Giants 3.
Mr. Crispin! We've had it, Bly. Quarter rations, floggings, and are you keeping all the Windrift aftershave lotion for yourself? Only gentlemen of the sea can truly appreciate Windrift aftershave and cologne. Ah, Windrift. It's like a trade wind kissed by some undiscovered sea. Besides, a crew wearing Windrift without women around, it's folly. We'll take our chances, Bly.
Windrift aftershave and cologne. It's like splashing on a wave after you shave.
Hello, this is Kyle Rote. If you want to hear what the N people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants and Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Rote, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
Washington Redskins go to the line of scrimmage. Mike Hull and Tommy Mason, the running backs. It's third and goal to go at the 11-yard line. Kilmer dropping straight back to pass, looking into the left corner, throwing into the left corner to Dowler, too high, incomplete. And the New York Giants have held for the 3 downs. And apparently a field goal attempt is coming up now for the Skins as Kurt Knight goes on the field. Dowler again running a circle down and out. First circling, then going to the outside. And the pass thrown on the left corner was thrown incomplete. Knight will attempt a field goal. Pettibone will hold from 18 yards out. The angle is sharply to the left. Teams are lined up and set at the closed end of Yankee Stadium. The ball is snapped, placed down, and it's kicked. It's up, and it is through there. So there's talent on the field with the score. The Washington Redskins 30, the New York Giants 3. More Giants football right after this message.
One of the nation's most effective programs to improve the environment is modern scientific forestry. Forestry, prescribed by professionals, is making America a better place in which to live. Besides protecting and enhancing the beauty and services of the forested third of our country, forestry is bringing the blessings of trees and open spaces to city people who are most in need of them. You can help this vital conservation work. Write for your free copy of Forest Ecology and You. Write Society of American Foresters, 1010 16th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. That address again, Society of American Foresters, 1010 16th Street Northwest, Washington, D.C.
The kickoff by Kurt Knight goes through the crossbar, through the uprights, and back of the end zone for an automatic touchback, and it's Giants ball 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. The Giants are trailing 30-3, a minute and 53 seconds to go in the game. Randy Johnson quarterbacking, going back to pass on 1st down, throws a short pass complete to Joe Morrison at the 25-yard line. He drives upfield and down at the 29. 9 yards on the play. Chris Hanberger, the right linebacker, came up to make the tackle at the 29 of the New York Giants. It's 2nd and 1 at the 29. Joe Morrison and Tucker Frederickson are the running backs. Rich Houston is the flanker back. Dick Kotite, the tight end, and Clifton McNeil, the split end. Randy Johnson at quarterback. 2nd and 1 at the 29-yard line. Johnson fumbles the ball, picks it up, and runs the ball, gets the 1st down, drives up to the 34-yard line where he's down. He fumbled a snap back from Greg Lawson, picked it up, spun, past the line of scrimmage, and up to the 34-yard line. The Giants now call for time. And when play is resumed, it'll be 1st and 10 for New York at their 33-yard line. Giants play again next Sunday afternoon against the St. Louis Cardinals at St. Louis. Broadcast time will be 2 o'clock New York time. Pre-game show at 1:35 as the Giants meet the St. Louis Cardinals. The Giants stop the clock. Play about to be resumed. 1st and 10 at the 33. A minute and 8 seconds to go in the ball game. And the stands are now about 80% empty. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Back to pass is Johnson, setting up. Throws hanging to the left. It's short and caught by Tucker Fredrickson. It's ruled incomplete. They rule that he trapped the ball. So it's 2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line of the Giants. The Skins leading 30-3. The Giants led 3-0 a long time ago, early in the first quarter. That was all. 2 touchdown passes dropped early in the ball game, one by Tucker Fredrickson, one by Clifton McNeil. And that seemed to change the impetus, the drive of the New York Giants offensively. And the Giant defense played real good football until late in the ball game. 2nd and 10 at the 33. Giants fall on their 33. Randy Johnson back, looking to pass. There's a screen to the right side, dropped by Tucker Fredrickson. He had his hands on it, apparently started to run with the ball before it got to him, took his eyes off it, and he just dropped it. The screen had formed, but he just dropped the ball. So it's 3rd and 10 at the 33-yard line. After those opening drop passes, the Giants seem to flatten out psychologically, seem to lose much of their spirit and enthusiasm they started the ball game with, and it virtually has been that way throughout. Just momentary lapses of fine play. France Argonne had a real good game passing, but they weren't holding on to the ball. Now it's 3rd and 10 at the 33-yard line. Again, Johnson back. Throws angling to the left. Then it's caught by Fredrickson at the 35 up to the 40 along the sideline. And he runs out of bounds at about the 44. I think he's got the first down. Now a fight breaks out again for the 4th time today. A penalty marker is thrown down. A fight between a Giant and a Skin. Can't make out their numbers at the moment because they're obscured and the amount of players, and the penalty marker is thrown down once more. It looks like Willie Young is the Giant, and Willie has been ejected from the game. Willie is being tossed out of the ballgame. And coming over to the near sideline for the Skins is the ex-Jet, Berlin Biggs. Biggs walking to the sideline with his head down. But he's congratulated on the near side for a fine ball game, which he played today. Biggs, Berlin Biggs, 275-pound defensive end. The play was not nullified because the fight took place after the play was completed. It's good for a first down at the 44-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for New York there. At the Giants 44. The clock shows 51 seconds in the game. The Skins are leading 30-3. And there are just seconds remaining in the game. 51, as he said. And a handful of fans here at Yankee Stadium. Mighty big handful, I might say. About, 20% of the fans are still here. Unsportsmanlike conduct is indicated by the official, indicating that the penalties offset each other. However, the infraction took place after the previous play ended, so the first down does count. Those signals being given now by the referee, Ben Dreith, D-R-E-I-T-H. 1st and 10 at the 44. The Giants in possession of the football, but the Skins are leading 30-3. Quick pass over to the left side to Joe Morrison in his hands, and he was hit as the ball got to him, and the ball was jarred loose. Chris Hamburger, linebacker, belted him as soon as the ball got to Morrison, and the impact jolted it free. So it's 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Score clock shows 47 seconds remaining in the game. It also shows Skins 30, Giants 3. So the Skins will have 2 wins and no losses in this young season. The Giants 1-1. To the line of scrimmage again come the New York Giants. 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Flank on the right side is Houston. The rest of the club is tight. Randy Johnson rolls out to the right. Fakes short. Now throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Clifton McNeil. McNeil batted it away because he couldn't catch it, and he didn't want one of the Skins to catch it. Again, Hamburger was covering on that zone defense for the Skins. So it'll be 3rd and 10 at the 44-yard line of the New York Giants. Now there are 42 seconds to go in the game. Rich Houston, who had such a magnificent day last Sunday, has not caught a pass today. And it's my recollection that he's been thrown to only 3 times today, perhaps only twice. Now the New York Giants break the huddle just a little bit raggedly. No point in what they're doing now as the ball game is lost. 30-3 the score. 3rd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Rolling out to the right comes Randy Johnson. Being rushed hard, and down he goes. Double team, high and low. Bill Brundage and Jimmy Jones. Back to the 36-yard line. An 8-yard loss makes it 4th and 18 at the 36. And the clock is running. Shows 35 seconds to go in the ball game. And the Giants will punt. And that should about end the ball game. Although there will be a cessation of play, the clock will be stopped because the ball will have changed hands. 20 seconds to go. Blanchard ready, the punt gets it. And boots that ball. A wobbly kick, a fair catch called at the 30-yard line, and the clock is stopped at 14 seconds. As soon as the offensive and defensive teams are on the field, the clock will be put back in motion again, and then the game will end without a play being run. The clock is moving now, and there won't be any more action. 5 seconds to go yet. That's it. The ball game is over. That's the end of the game with the score. The Washington Redskins 30, the New York Giants 3.
Deposits can build up in your carburetor, and a dirty carburetor could mean trouble. But you don't have to worry about a dirty carburetor, because even if you do have a dirty one, we can help with mobile detergent gasoline, because the detergent in mobile cleans your carburetor as you drive. So use mobile detergent gasoline. It can help your car's performance.
This is Marty Glickman with Chip Sapola at Yankee Stadium in New York City. The ball game has ended, and what a long afternoon it's been. New York Giants losing it by a score of 30-3, and outside of the opening minutes of play, the Giants did not show very much offensively. Defense looked good, and particularly late in the ball game with that shift that defensive coach Norv Hecker made as he shifted Jim Files to the outside playing the left linebacker position, and put Ron Hornsby, that fine young rookie from southeast Louisiana, at middle linebacker, and that may be the portent of things to come. I want to thank our offensive spotter, Mal Kerpitz, and defensive spotter, Len Weiss, our producer, Roger Edrick, and our engineer, Roland Losey, for their typical competent and efficient work today. Once again, the final score, the Washington Redskins 30, the New York Giants 3.
Exhibitions of football I have ever seen.
Tell me something. Have you given up hope? Have you forsaken the idea of a world blessed with less disease, unhappiness, disruption? Listen.
I have no delusions that I'm on a world-saving mission. Hope nor the United States of America can't save the world. But it's a little contribution. And, little things make big things.
That was a volunteer American doctor aboard the world's first peacetime hospital ship, the SS Hope, the floating medical center, which is on her second decade of traveling the far corners of this world, bringing teaching and treatment to millions. Don't give up hope. Help support it. Send your dollars to Project Hope, Room A, Washington, D.C.
It
Have you been doing a lot of talking about changing the world? This is Woody Allen. I'm going to give you a chance to put your mind where your mouth is. Go learn how to reach kids who need your help. Earn a tuition-free master's plus $75 a week. Teach part-time and work in a poverty community. Join the Teacher Corps. Washington, D.C., 20202.
This is WGY, Radio 81, Schenectady, New York.
Had that kind of preseason. Of course, that's in for Sonny Jurgensen. And he seemed to be finding all of the cracks and all of the seams in our zone defense. Could we not adjust to that, or was it a manpower situation? What was it?
Can't speak too much for the defense. As you know, I'm working on offense most of the time, but I'm sure one thing, and they played three great receivers today. Three pretty good boys, and anytime, I don't care who you are, anytime you have those kind of fellas throw to, they're pretty tough to handle. And Kilmer, of course, you got to remember, is after 2 or 3 weeks now of being able to play with the club, after being the backup man and coming from New Orleans, he's kind of moved into the number one spot now with Sonny out, so I'm sure he's getting more work with those guys. So he's not that bad.
Well, offensively, Joe, last week we had Houston and Kotite being so effective. Rich was only thrown to about 2 or 3 times this afternoon. Were we using him as a decoy? Was he not open? What was the problem there?
Well, no, they were doubling him quite a bit. Which, if you notice today, we hit Clifton quite a few times, which is what you look for, of course. If they want to double one of the guys, you can go someplace else. And unfortunately, we had a couple of balls dropped and a couple of things happened that killed drives, penalties and things. So, but as far as Rich did his job, he was just being doubled a lot, and it was tough to go to him.
What about our running game? Did it suffer? I understand Junior has a pulled hamstring, and again, we're without his services. The running game went nowhere at all. Of course, the Washington Redskins have beefed up that defensive line considerably.
Yeah, that's right. They have a much better defensive line. That's much better overall defensive team. But I don't know what's the matter with the running game. I'll have to wait and look at that in the films on Monday.
Joe, thanks so much for talking to us. I'd like to have this gift on behalf of the Garrity people. And thanks again. I know how tough it is after a game like this.
It's all right, Chip.
We'll be back with our next guest, Tom Blanchard, right after this message.
A pretty girl by the name of Shio Mei lives in a village in Taiwan. Her father is dead, and her mother has 5 children to care for besides Shio Mei. The family is poor, yet Shio Mei goes to school. She's able to go to school because she's getting help from the Christian Children's Fund. CCF operates or helps support homes for needy children in many countries. CCF also has Family Helper projects to keep families together wherever possible. Shio Mei has a CCF sponsor who sends $12 toward her support each month. The money is used for clothes, school books, and noontime lunches. So Shio Mei has a chance to grow up to a better life than her mother has known. But there are many other children of poor families in many parts of the world who are still waiting and hoping for such a chance. Will you end the waiting for one of these children? Write today for full information to the Christian Children's Fund, Richmond, Virginia.
Well, for my next guest, I have a young man who I described several times on the air as being the only bright spot offensively for the Giants today, Tom Blanchard, who's won the punting job. And let's talk about last week. I wanted to get you on last week. We kind of ran out of time. As a matter of fact, I'd rather talk about last week. It was a better ball game for us, Tom. What were you thinking at that very crucial moment in the ball game when the ball was snapped over your head? Had you thought about it before?
Yes, I had. I'd already rehearsed in my mind. Of course, it happened to me once in high school before, so I always kind of prepare myself for the same situation, although I was thinking about if the punt was blocked. I wasn't worrying about the punt going or the snap going over my head, but I knew that I'd take the safety in that situation because I'm no great runner, and if I was going to try and run it out, I'd probably get about the 1 yard line. It would have been an easy touchdown for him. So I already had it in my mind to stay in the end zone no matter what.
You do prepare these things, though. That's the point I was getting at. You kind of mentally adjusted yourself to every kind of situation that can come up, but can you physically react to it? You did that time. You think you can most of the time?
Well, I think I can. I used to play quarterback, and I pride myself on being a smart football player, and right now my only job is punting, and if I'm a professional punter, I should be prepared for any situation. I think I can handle anything that comes up.
What about your punting? Are you satisfied with the way it's been going? You hung a couple of beauties up there today. I think you got a couple a little too low, though. Do you agree?
Oh, definitely. I'm unhappy with my inconsistency. I get one good one and then one bad one, and like you say, some people think those were good punts, but they weren't. They were low punts, and those are the run-back punts. And I'm not at all happy yet, although I know I can punt in this league, and I'm just going to have to work on it a little bit more, and pretty soon I'll be hanging all of them up there.
Tom, do you try and hang it up a certain amount of time? I realize you don't have a stopwatch with you on the field, but when you're practicing, what do you consider the best time to keep one up there, or the easiest time?
Well, ideally, coaches like you to keep it up around 4.5 seconds, and anything around that is pretty good. Now, like you say, in practice we can work on it with stopwatches, and I can hang it up that high. But in the games, sometimes weather conditions make it a little different. Sometimes it depends on who's running punts back. Like today, I should have held him up 10 seconds because that guy's a great returner, but I just didn't quite do it.
Tommy did a great job. Thanks so much for talking to us, and I've got a gift for you on behalf of Garrity Industries. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with the injury report right after this message.
Hello, I'm Norm Sneed. As quarterback, it's my job to call the right plays, when it matters and where it counts. And everyone else on the team has to be in the right place at the right time. That's what football is all about. And that's what boys' clubs are all about, too. At a boys' club, a boy learns to obey the rules, to work with others, to be part of a team. I should know, I was a member of the Newport News Virginia Boys Clubs for many years. Today, Professional Boys Clubs of America workers help almost 1 million deserving boys get a good start. They know that good kids don't grow on trees, that boys need guidance and help. So take it from me, if you want to score big without fumbling, why not help the Boys Clubs of America build juvenile decency?
Don't let one boy stray. Teach them how to work and play. Help the Boys Club. The Boys Club. Help the Boys Clubs of America today.
Looking at the Giant medical report, Scott Eaton and Junior Coffey came up with hamstring pulls. These are chronic injuries for both of them. Rich Houston has a bruised left hand, and Dave Roller a mild concussion. We don't expect any problems with Houston and Roller. However, the pulled hamstrings by Eaton and Coffey, those are usually a day-by-day proposition. That wraps up our locker room report for today. Be sure to be with us next Sunday, October 3rd, when the New York Giants meet the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. I'm Chip Sapolo speaking for Marty Glickman and saying so long from Yankee Stadium. The locker room report was produced by Don Smith, and the New York Giants broadcast was a presentation of WNEW in New York. The locker room report was brought to you by New Disposalite, the disposable butane lighter, the only lighter you never refill, never reflint, never repair. It has made Garrity Industries the world leader in butane lighters, and by American Airlines. When going on vacation, it's good to know you're on American Airlines. Once again, the final score was Washington 30, the New York Giants 3. I'm Chip Sapolo. And this is WNEW Metro Media Radio in New York.